Waiting for the announcements up in this beat. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. Boom, dum, dum, boom. There we go. What up, what up? Hope all is well with everyone. Let me get this link out into the Discord, man. The Discord, man. Must get it out to the crew, man. I appreciate y'all. For real. Bow. Dopa-dopa-dopo. This is going to be a long one, but that's going to be okay because I'm going to try to give you as much value as possible. Be sure to please smash the like button. Give me a moment. I'm letting the rest of the Cash Lane crew get up in here if they're going to ride out with me today. I hope all is well. I got Outcast up in this piece. You got to get up, get out, and get something. That's the theme for today, man. You got it. Giving some folks to get up, some time to get up in here before we get started. We got to get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by. You got to get up, get out, and say something. Don't spend all your time trying to get high, nigga. You got to get up and get something. How would you make it if you never even try? You need to get up, get out, and get something. Because you and I got to do for you and I. That's why. You got to. Sometimes I feel I'm just a disappointment to y'all. Out alone and down. Sometimes I feel I'm just a disappointment to y'all. What up, everybody? All right, just letting everybody get up in here before we get started, because you know El Market is going El Stupito, but we have been planning for this crap, right? Yeah, we have been. Welcome to CryptoPlunder, Toxic Thoughts, where I dump my brain on the internet while the BS is going down, because, you know, I still got to do business in this landscape, and at this point in time, evidently, so do you. Since they're targeting bank accounts at 600 bones, means you're now all businesses. Looky. What did I tell you I was getting ready to happen? I'm now understanding the situation of the Bobo these guys are getting ready to pull. But at the same time, you know, the give unto Caesar his taxes type beats. It just means that everything that I've been doing has now again come down to the average person. See, it's just the way things flow. Technology flows down. And of course, the BS flows down. So your all caps, your straw man, right? Your social security number, the fact that you've been put on dry dock, the fact that you're on docket, the fact that you're on maritime law, you've always been a corporation. Now, you've believed you've been an employee, but we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the cash flow quadrants today. We're going to get into all of that, but I want to stay on task because y'all know my ADD and I can get off pace. And I want to stay on track today. So I do have my notes. I never touched that girl. I swear to God, I didn't do that. Let me pull up. I made changes on this. So now I cannot even use the page I had. So I am going to have to pull it out like so. Give me one moment, y'all, because I have a list right here. All right. So the first thing on the docket. All right. So I saw as I talked to y'all on Saturday, right? For those of y'all that watched Saturday's video, again, everybody, thank you. Oh, let me do this damn introduction. First of all, thank you. Welcome to Toxic Thoughts. My name is J Tragic Jeffrey. This is where I dump my brain on the internet. I work through ToxicHustle to do my business. I've been working as a business owner. I believe that robotics are going to take over all businesses. I've been making ToxicHustle as a way that I believe that it's going to be a system unto itself to manage my career as an artist, as a producer, as a graphic designer, as a graphic artist, as a media developer. So developing media and being able to sell it myself, I realize I'm basically my own distributor. And that goes with music and everything else, especially with everything we're going through. The transition from analog to digital, which gives us a lot of pivot points. Now, there's a lot of things going down, especially Saturday, we're talking about the sell-off and the fact that I still believe that the market was going to shake downwards. Now, yesterday I was going to do a video, and y'all know I like opening up the week with y'all. Of course, in this landscape, for those that you don't know, any new subscribers, hey, what's going on? How you doing? I work with my lady, my fiance, and we have a catering company. We're in the food industry here in Georgia. And facto is that this climate of needing employees has hit us as well. So I'm innately tied to the other side, the business owner side of the problems that are in the economy, right? As far as trying to get staff in and people wanting to work. But at the same time, there's a change in the mind state, right? And this is the thing that my lady and I talk about all the time. And that's like, the fact is that nobody wants to be a lemming anymore. So even with what I'm doing with ToxicHustle, with the software that we're developing, and we'll again get into that. If you're in the Discord, you know I put posts out about the software I've been actually getting into. The thing is that we're going to get into a position in which every corporation or person is going to have to understand that they are now a media or a company business, right? Really, everybody's going to be a media company. Let me explain. The gross domestic product for every country at this point, since analog is drying up, is going to be media. And I've been saying it for years. It's one of the reasons I've been focusing on media, because what do you create now? What physically do you make? And if you don't physically make anything, then Oh, by the way, if you're trying to talk in the chat, I made it so that only subscribers now can talk in the chat, and they have to at least been a subscriber for the 30 minutes. Because we're gonna stop at least as I ain't even a big YouTuber to start getting spam. It's way too early for that ish. Now, back to my point. Everybody's going to have to understand their business, and the business is going to be media, and how you broadcast your media is on a social platform. Now, y'all have already been doing this. Now, of course, we talk about the government is getting ready to monetize as much as they can, because there is a debt clock, and that debt clock has every citizen's very big price point that we have to deal with. You are bonded, right? Even if you get locked up, you get out on what? Bond. So all of that is capitalization. We just forget about that ish. The whole slave trade was a bond deal, contracts, passing back and forth. We became contractual, contracted citizens, and then we took our blackened status, black. We were blackened out. So we have to understand what was done, and then understand you're pretty much dealing with contracts that have been generational at this point. So unless you think you're better than your grandfather at beating this thing, I think you just gotta do what you see others are doing in the system to get over on said system for said greed within said system. Do unto them as they do unto you type beats, right? But not in the negative, because I'm never on that shit. Like, our souls are too good for that. Our vibe is too good for that. And we never had to do that, which is why we get manipulated so much, because we're trusting beings. We're trusting souls. Our heart's just big like that. That's how we roll. But at the same time, we've got to understand that, there's other, what your skin folk ain't always your kinfolk type beats, right? That's what MG says. So, I've been watching what's going on in the YouTube space. I've been watching what's going on, and I told y'all this was going to happen back in the summertime. I was like, yo, when we start rolling into crypto winter, which is where I believe we are at, we're going to start seeing a lot. They ain't going to have much to talk about, y'all. And now it's not just the YouTubers in crypto and this crypto winter that still ain't started yet. We're just in the beginnings of that capitulation that happens within the cycle. And then they tied our cyclical cycle to the market, which is that was bonus lesson. Listen, Linda, listen. Linda, listen. They don't understand, Linda. No, listen. They don't get it. They just tied the market to a cyclical machine that's attached to pockets directly. Like the stock market is liquid to a point, but like you still got to cash out of your, you still got to cash out. You have to wait for certain things to clear. You then have to get it out of your account. You still have to put it back in your bank account to really spend it, unless your market account has a card that you can use your assets immediately. You're illiquid. It's not a liquid asset. Now, when I convert some cryptocurrency to US dollar coin or US dollar tether, which again, be careful with that one. It is attached to some potential Chinese real estate contracts. Don't get me wrong, US dollar, you still got to deal with inflation, but guess what? They still had to deal with inflation in 1931. They had to still deal with the fact that jobs were, the salary of jobs were increasing, but the little pizza guys, the vendors on the street, the ones selling dollar things, 99-cent things, $5 things, $4 things, the immigrant mind state. We're going to get into that today. Because the idea of this dream of Americana was never really one for everybody, right? We already know that all the lines and levels are not played the same. Now, the difference is me being online for many, many years. When I would go to a job, y'all, I didn't graduate college, y'all. I didn't even get into college. Hell, I barely graduated high school. But I love knowledge. Just the education system, or their re-education system, just didn't have nothing for me. They couldn't hold my attention. My ADD was crazy. And I would sit there and say, how did Christopher Columbus discover it? Like, if there's people there already, then didn't he just invade? And then of course I get kicked out of class. Right? Because what my mom had done was bought encyclopedias. So I had text locked in time, because the school books change every X amount of sessions. But my books locked in time meant I could then go back to libraries, pull said book out, bring it in my knapsack, and be that asshole kid in class. But it says it right here. Well, that's not this book in this class. Well, then maybe you need to get new books, because then your books are wrong. If this is in every encyclopedia across all libraries in the Congress, in the United States Congress. Boy, I was that kid. What up, Current? Right? So you got to understand, the game was never played. It was not meant for us to be. We were getting played, right? The game wasn't meant for us to play. Well, now things is changing, because you can't really see somebody behind their trading account or their online business account unless you make your business really urban. You're just a .com. You're just a piece of digital real estate. That's all a .com is. Right? But before we get into how we're going, how at least I know ToxicHustle is going to be making money, and anybody who's in any type of media creation business is going to make money. This doesn't matter if it's graphics, because y'all know I do graphics. I'm looking at video games. I'm looking at virtual reality. But at the core of all that is Unreal 3D Engine, right? A way for you to leverage animation. And of course, you know me, I like robotics. So of course, there's software that you can connect to Unreal Engine and then use motion capture suits, using your analog to beat out having to do static animations that'll take you hours to do, or buying somebody else's animations all the time. Like I said, we're going to get into that. First, we got to talk about the bad ish before we get into, we know how to make money up in these beats. We're creatives. I'm sorry to laugh, y'all, because fear is whack when the only thing you've got to concentrate on is your ability to earn. And that really is, and y'all understand that's what like, what they say, holding on to the teeth, sucking on the teeth. Maybe you need to get up off, end childlike things. There's certain things we are supposed to be childlike with, like just our imagination and our childlike wonderment and our ability to believe that we can transmute ourselves, alchemy type beats. Change who we are from one thing to another. If we don't like something, we can change it, because we can manifest our own destiny. That's what's supposed to be. But everybody wants to hinder the swag we got. We were swaggy. We're swaggy now. We were swarthy then, right? So let's get into the market, and I want to thank the Maverick of Wall Street. Y'all know I put his links in the Cash Lane Discord. I got this picture from one of his videos with the Fed chairman as Scarface with a pound of cocaine. And I was like, yo, there is no better picture for what's going on in the market than this right here. And this is why I have Russell 2000, because we're going to talk about the Russell. We're going to talk about the S&P 500. We're going to talk about Scarface starring the Fed chairman. Because we have to talk about the fact, and this leads, and I was going to put a video out yesterday. Like I said, we had problems with having staffing. And by the time I got back, I had to take care of things at home and then spend some quality time. And then the market pumped, and I was like, it pumped so damn hard. Anyway, so that was happening, and I was like, well, what the hell's going on? And I needed to figure that out. So I started doing the research, and that led me to like late at night. And then I was like, well, there's no way I'm doing a video now. I'll just wait till tomorrow. And then sure enough, overnight, like at 3 a.m., I started seeing some of the things that was going on, and people were starting to say some of the bobo that was going down. And I actually put the link in the Discord in here I call this guy, and it's no disrespect, FG. I know this I call him your doppelganger, because his attitude about the information that he's bringing is the same that we get in the tribe. So it's just that same tribal feel from this dude, Mike. That's Mike has some good information. He has callers that call in to him. He has a good live talk. I listen to him here and there, and he's got some good points. He's one of those silver gold bugs. So of course, every narrative is going towards silver and gold. Again, I like silver, I like gold, I like all of those things. I'm trying to understand it more, but I just haven't seen a gold standard in so many years. I think we're going back to more analog. It's kind of hard for me. That's really hard for me to say, am I going to go to the store and use $1 in the next coming years? Am I going to really use a silver coin? Am I really going to shave gold? Is that really how we're going to do as a modicum of exchange in a digital age there? You have to nuke out every single computer on the world to get rid of the ledger. Like, not just one computer. Like, y'all, it's so fragmented for Bitcoin alone, for just what the ledger means, that you have to literally wipe out every single computer on the planet and pray not one of them is in a cave somewhere that is connected via hardline. And y'all know that's a thing. They do it. So it's not like they can nuke this stuff. It's in Sweden. It's all these cold regions. They're underground. You can't nuke these things. So again, I'm just looking at the technology of saying, in the future, do I think I can put things on some type of universal ledger? What up, Danye? And then that ledger, in the future, I can sit there and say, hey, all of the royalties that my company has made is on this ledger, and then any utilization things that we came up with as tribe is transparently there. And we all should be paid out to our private wallets, no problemo. Now, of course, in the future, what the $600 thing will come to everybody. So don't get it twisted. It's not going to be, you're not bypassing this by going to Coinbase. Coinbase is already basically the government's new fidelity of the cryptocurrency space, and they're locking it in. They've gotten all, like, don't forget, lobbyists run this country. Just like your taxes. Intuit and H&R Block, which we're getting to all that in the tax section down below in my notes. But we're all going to be taxed business citizens at this point. So let's get to the market, because Jerome Powell did something yesterday, and I'm going to show you on the Russell, right? And let's go on the day. And let's just look at this. I want you to see that this thing had gone all the way down. When the markets open, I was just like, all of my things was right. I'm getting ready to launch into this thing. I'm about to crush buildings like Godzilla in Tokyo. And then, bow, all of a sudden, the market just started reversing. I was like, wait. And I went looking at news. You know, I'm like, wait a minute. Something's off. Hold on. Let me go get some news. So I pulled up, where is it? My insider selling, right? This was yesterday. I haven't refreshed my screen. So I was like, okay, insiders who sold this. Okay, that was then. Bill, blah, blah. So let me refresh it right now. Boom. You see that I just refreshed it live for you. Insiders, an hour ago. I just refreshed it live. So insiders are still selling off. They're not going to buy where 5% or you're not moving your fund's money, or you're not moving your insider money just to get 1%, 2%, 5%. That makes no sense. All investors say the market only goes up over time, right? So if insiders are moving their money out of their account, they don't think the S&P is going to bounce. Period. Our bank accounts are still empty. Period. No news has changed. Period. They cannot reduce interest rates any lower to do what they used to do to balance out the scales if things of inflation got too heady, right? Inflation gets too heady, boom, they can drop rates. But now they can't. Boom, we're at the bottom, right? So, pull my note back up. The fire is still burning. There's nothing that changed, and today it got validated. But I am not going to get beat on that again. Hold on. This was supposed to be the Russell right here. I'm not going to get beat on that again. Let's put it down. If we're on the day, I'm also going to turn off one of my indicators because this is a downtrend, but you can't see the green days without really looking close. So let me just turn this off because my algo is still saying we're in a bearish trend. That was what that was. Even if we had green days, but you know what it is? It's almost like something like it. Oh, we have to have this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if it went lower, we're gonna have problems. Now, I want to show you where some robots play, right? And then I want to show you the 2-hour, and then I want to show you what happened on the Russell. Boom, the 20-second, boom. There we are. 24. All right, so this is yesterday. 24. Then all of a sudden, look at this. All of a sudden, surge. Boom. And then boom. Right closed at the just enough to keep it in a channel. Just enough to keep it in the channel, though today it fell right back out of that channel again. Same thing happened on the S&P 500. I'm going to do the same thing here. Let me turn off my indicator because we're still in a bearish pattern, even if we had a green day, which is that little green ring around it. I'm using the Lux algo that I learned from Johnny Bravo. So boom, right? And let's go down to the 4-hour chart and then actually go down to the 2-hour chart. Still fell out. We got to the 30-minute chart. 24, it kept it in that channel and bounced out. So again, tried to keep things in a channel, which fell out. Again, they're trying to manipulate. And I didn't understand. I was trying to figure out, I'm saying, no, what the hell's going on? I don't get this. What is it? What are they doing? How is this happening? And then I learned a new word. And that word came from this gentleman right here, Mike right here. And that is plunge protection. That they have some type of system set up to at least try to ease the market down. Now, again, they can ease it down as much as they want. And I think that's the game they're trying to play. At least that's what I feel. Is that they understand the market's gonna come down, but what they're gonna do is the asset spending that they're doing, they're trying to asset spend and lessen the crash down. But they're not taking the inflation problem to the top of the problem, where everybody's meat, everybody's gas, everybody's transportation and the transportation of goods, and that reflected into how crops and the things necessary for crops and that expense and all of that ripple up effect to our pockets as consumers. And they're not dealing with that. When they did, it was 12%. They shocked the system to crash it. So they're giving themselves time to bail out themselves. This is the bailout. If insiders are still selling and they're propping up the markets, they are propping it up to get people out. And then every single, now you're hearing everyone say, oh yeah, we're waiting for a 50% correction. Oh, we're waiting for a 40%. You've already had damn near 50% correction from the top. They keep saying that there's going to be another correction. There's going to be this big correction. Y'all, it's already started. I mean, from the top of November down, that's already a significant correction. Let's go to the weekly. Oh, actually, let's go to the monthly, right? Because that will give us a real valued number. Let's just grab, I'm in TradingView right now. I'm going to my other side here. And then here we got date range. And then I'm going to take the date range from here of a top that it touched to the bottom that it dropped. Oops, actually wrong. That was date range. I need a price range. Sorry. Price range. There we go. So from the top to the bottom, now we're here. So we've already done like a, let's just say all right, so it's not as bad as I thought. From the top to the bottom, now we're here. It's already done a 20% correction. On the Russell. The Russell's already done a 20%. That's significant. The market is wild. Yeah, RTP, the market's crazy. But the market's crazy only because money got pressed into this system. Yep. Yeah, Jay Bravo did do it. That's why I just put the link out there because, you know me. I'm like, okay, well, this is the information. Now, practically, what do we got to deal with it, right? I need to now, do I want to pull more stocks out for extra positional moves to the downside? Because I mean, when they're not manipulating, y'all, like, look at this. This Russell 2000, the Russell 2000 being down 2%. If you go down on, look, that's an 8% drop on both of the shorts positions I got. Like, I just been like, look, I trust the market's going to go down. I trust that right now the Fed, there's no safety net. If the Fed still had a whole bunch of things that I've learned over the last few months that they're supposed to have, like, They should have been raising interest rates, but they capitulate to bankers. Bankers run the world. Lobbyists run the world, and lobbies of bankers run worlds. So for me, I'm a business guy that, hey, I'm trying to do business. I'm trying to do my digital thing, keep out of the way, stay out of everybody's problems. But, I can't just invest. Like there's no interest in a bank account unless you get a business bank account. Blue Vine's got a nice interest rate. I don't have an affiliate link. But Blue Vine is if you're going into being a corporation and you get an EIN number, you can then get your bank account, get your credit card, and then start building up business credit. And then utilize that credit for what you need. But at this point, again, credit, concentrate on earnings. Because funding, I got laid off in 2016. So I already know, and I was in the venture capital world as far as that we were a startup, a tech startup. And I got laid off in 2016 and then had to jump into the gig economy, which is what I'm going to talk about. But the market as it stands is already going through some ish, right? So as y'all already know, I mapped out where I thought my drop points were going to be as I mapped them out earlier. So I'd already said, hey, I'm a 5% drop there. There's a 3% chance of a drop there because we didn't have no real legs. If you look at the monthly, right, there's no real data in this whole zone. And one thing I've been learning with trading is that you need to test support. That's the real support. Even though we had broke up to here and then we broke up here. No. We never came back to test this. And look at where this is. So, I mean, if anything, I'm not going to say we're going to be in some long ass forever bear market, but I think that, we're going to have a shakeout and then it'll, everything goes up forever, I guess. But the market and watching what the robots are actually doing in the market, watching what the options traders are doing. I'm starting to keep an eye on a couple of options traders. I will put links when I feel like they're not so spooky with how they get results. And also, I don't want nobody in no damn courses. I ain't giving you a damn course. So why everybody trying to give you damn courses? Screw that right? All of this information's out here for free. Now, the BT 24-hour. Oh, okay. So Bitcoin. So I have this thing right here where it says the Bitcoin ETF setup play 24 hours locked on a Monday through Friday schedule. What that means. I've been thinking that unfortunately to them, they've set the market's now set up to be controlled by crypto. What they did is they set up what? They did not set up a spot ETF, which means like if they were going like gold spot ETF, right? A gold spot ETF means that the gold ETF is also grabbing or holding on the asset. So they're either buying, purchasing, acquiring, or working with some mining firm to get extra royalties to buy more, right? So they're becoming an asset holder. That's why I'm starting to learn and look into mining firms because you get royalties. I'm looking for royalties. So I'm Sephardic that way. So if I'm looking at that, I'm like, all right, well, I want that. But how do I do that digitally? How do I hold that, right? So if you look at what they did with these ETFs, they basically have paper ETFs for Bitcoin. Now, you don't have to hold Bitcoin, so you're just trading paper on paper. But that paper is now 9 to 4, whatever the market closes, 4:30 or whatever. Right, so the market, you're set Monday through Friday from, market hours. And then if Bitcoin goes stupid over the weekend, you're waking up to disaster. Potential margin calls, all types of all crazy-ish. Have you checked out Come Up series on YouTube with Mark Monroe? No, but I will. Since you said something, I'll put that on my list. So now the market's connected like that. When Bitcoin, like right now is the worst time for that to happen, but I think they set that up. But I don't think they understand what they set up. They have helped Bitcoin's halving cycle now intimately affect the market. on the option side of things, the higher risk side of the trades, the margin side of the trades. Yeeks. Boom, boom. That's ugly. That's ugly. Boom, boom. That's ugly. That's ugly. For real, for real. So now if we look at the Russell on the monthly, you can see what we talked about. I told you this right here is the Willie Powers. And the Willie is your early warning sign. Willie gets you into, shows you that you're in negative territory, and look, you're encroaching, going into negative on the VIX, which is negative. You see deceleration. We're now in negative pull down. And this is on a monthly, meaning that this is condensed time. This time don't move fast. This move, you see there's little angles up. Little angles up. So even if this angled up, it's going to take time for that to come back up here. It can't just bow, reconnect itself. It's going to make these very staggered moves. Even though this one's kind of sharp, you see it's still taking time. 1, 2, maybe 3 days. Wait, hold on. That'll be from here, 1, 2 days. All right, 2 days to do that. One day for a cross on the Willie. If you 1, 2. Right? So anyway, if we look at this, let's get all this out of here for a second. And we look at what we're doing. We are on the monthly bouncing right close to the 25 moving average, but I don't really take too much into that on those larger segments of time. Though, as you can see, boom, broke down, boom, touched off on the Russell. On our weekly, touched off, like we're getting close to touching it. And it's a spinning top, which means confusion. But again, there's nothing in our pockets. He deals with options. I'll definitely check on that then. But with this spinning top, there's no more money in our pockets. And unless insiders are going to buy right now with only if they're selling out today, even if they sell out right now and they sold out, and it gets close to here and breaking here, I think they're going to think that they're going to get down further here. Right? And if we go back to the monthly and we scale this down, where would we be? Well, this would be potentially a bounce spot right here. But again, yeah, it would be down to this 15 level. At least touching it again so that you could potentially go back up. But then that would be the move where if it did come back down here, then yeah, I'd ride it back up as the Fed starts changing their position. But we'll find out what happens this week. I think it's tomorrow they've got another announcement. I think the Fed's Wednesday, right? Yep, I think the Fed is on Wednesday. I think Maverick said something about that. But let's get back to it. So my ETF plays have been doing well. Let me see if I can get that screen. Give me 1 second, y'all, because I did not open that up. But let me jump into it real fast. Boom, 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 boom. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's taking forever. Hold on 1 second, y'all. My ish is acting up. My ish is acting up. Why you acting up? Hey, stop acting up. Stop acting up. Oh, what are you doing that? Yo, for real. Really, today, Fidelity? Are y'all having problems like that today, Fidelity? It can't be my intranet. Nope, because my intranet running fines. Y'all, I would love to show you the Fidelity right now, but it seems like Fidelity is going to act stupid. So we're just going to move on and wait for Fidelity to load while we keep it pushing. I'll try to get back to it as soon as it loads. I'm beginning to study the volatility index and its effects on the market. I'll have more information about that, but I've been noticing a lot of that VIX information coming from looking at options and trying to start studying that. I don't want to trade options, but I understand now that those affect everything, and it's the sentiment. So if we can start understanding the underlying sentiment. Oh, you remember to put the plug in. Yeah, no, I ain't playing that no more, man. It's my secondary screen is plugged in. All right, so the Fed chairman got the market flooded in that cane. Let's go ahead and move on to that. While let me check Fidelity one more time. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Fidelity looks like it wants to act right. Oh, suck it now. There we go. There you go. Hey, there you go. Hold on, y'all. Let me just get this screen captured right now. Oh, man. My stocks are that in the funds that I'm not touching, just so I can have the knowledge of understanding that they don't move money around properly and they just let your account go down. I'm just letting them prove to me that they don't do shite for you. Like, I'm just watching these accounts and I'm like, they don't do nothing for you, man. Anything. Nothing, Linda. Listen. Linda, they don't do nothing for you, Linda. Listen, Linda. Linda. They don't do nothing for you, Linda. Okay, I think I got the important bits all taken care of, and I can show you residuals. Hold on, please. Please hold. Please hold. Hey, there we go. I took a screenshot. I brought it in Snagit Editor, and I just had to blank out my stuff. So as you can see, I've been putting my money where my mouth is. Hey, and I said the market's gonna go down, and I put a little bit on it. Got some shares. Them shares is doing kind of goods. Right? I got 3x position on the S&P 500 and the Russell 2000 because the charts tell me we are going down. And today's gain, as you can see, is today's gain. Yes, I swear. I don't kid. I do not kid. Today's the 25th. You can see the time, 12:49. And it's 12:51 now. So, gain and loss, bang. Total, bang. Current value, zebang. Cost basis, what I paid for, what it is now worth. Yes, sir. Just to be transparent, because these suckers think we don't know how to deal with this shit. They don't think we can deal with this shit, but the Trail of Tears led to Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, Black Wall Street. So you can't gaff us no more. Black Wall Street. Hold on. Don't say you're Black Wall Street, but you're not Black Wall Street. I'm going to be a crazy old man. I swear I'm going to be, man. Wait till I get into like my 70s, man. I'm going to be nuts of Black Wall Street. Then I'm really not going to give a damn. Don't let me get there. Oh, I'm going to be like those old crusty motherfuckers. I'm telling you. Look at that. The rise and fall. Look, I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't get what I'm telling y'all. St. Luke Savings Bank. Swarthy kind of people, right? Bankers. They didn't like that. They don't like that. Got stores and businesses and drugstores, and we had recreation place businesses, investments, banks, investments, businesses. We would invest in our own businesses and earn assets in it. We weren't going into their spooky money. They got rid of their gold standard. We just created an economy. Right? We just created an economy, and they didn't like that. Don't play with us. I get it, but I don't get mad. Not anymore. I mean, what you gonna do, right? You gonna go to war? Huh? Look. That is playing chess if you want to go to war. Evidently, the real game we're supposed to be playing is Go. Y'all don't understand this game of Go. I would start learning that. It's funny, in the Caribbean, we play things like that, like Othello and all that other stuff. Go, or Ouija, and Ouija. Like bored. I just got that. Almost like tells you the future, huh? All right, is an abstract strategy board game. Abstract because it's abstracted, because you're really just thinking about positioning and virtualization in 3D space. For two players, in which the aim is to surround more territory than the opponent. The game was invented in China more than 2000. Yeah, whatever the timeline is, you know what that is. 3 a.m. room. Found that there are over 46 million people worldwide who know how to play Go, and over 20 million right? Called stones, casting, stones, Ouija, stone casting. All right, moving on. One player uses the white stones and black stone, like Urim and Thummim. Oh, I got that. The players like to take placing stones in vacant intersections of the points of the board. Once placed on the board, the stones may not be moved. The stones are removed on the board. So I never read all of this, but like Urim and Thummim is in there. That's that energy right there. I got you. Y'all need to read Richest Man in Babylon. I mean, they don't need to, excuse me. Not any financial advice. But just saying. In there, Urim and Thummim makes an appearance. Just saying. All right, so real estate type things, landmass type things. What do? They're taking, the Chinese government is taking capital, fiat, taking merchandise and labor, utilizing said labor cheaply, got to a point where they had capital and cash flow, and then while they went stupid, throwing their Ponzi of real estate up into the air as tofu dreg projects, while that was going, they were doing the 3-card Marley and saying, watch this, let me, as my boy EJ would say, let me show you the hands, like the magic people, watch the hands. 3-card Molly, and you're watching real estate and they're buying it someplace else with fiat, getting rare earth minerals with dollars and digits into hard assets. Hard assets. What am I doing? I take digital credits and convert them to hard assets. That's the game. Either do or you don't, right? But if you hold and rely only on the capitalization of what is in your bank account, well, then you have no movement, right? It's a shame. It's a shame, Shane. Let's see. So the goal is creating your own revenue stream, right? We got to start talking about the money, because at the end of the day, the market's going to play the market, but you have to take capitalization and put it in the market. Especially, how do you have an opportunity to buy these opportunities? It ain't going to, like, the stock market isn't how you make money. The stock market is how you take the money you make and have it make more money. But it's a risk position, no more than 20% of a portfolio. Should be. The rest of your capitalization should be coming in from royalties and assets and things of that nature, right? Which is why I start with the market type beats, because the market is us just getting into the fear of the economy and everything else and seeing what's going on and finding our buy-in positions for companies we think have long-term assets. Like, hey, this is a good idea. You know what? I like this company. I think they're going to be around here for a while. Hey, you know what? I'm getting into this business over here, and this might be beneficial to me. Like, I would still buy Microsoft shares after the dip. Why? They have automation. I know that if I put Microsoft Power Automate on my portfolio and on my resume, not only am I paying $40 for the front side of the Microsoft of me using that software to get money, I also now buy the shares of Microsoft, paying in dividends on the other side of that transaction. Again, utilizing the software and benefiting on the price bump. Because it's a physical piece of property. It's property. Then use the property for an edge or leverage. That's what I didn't know back in 95 or 92 when my staff sergeant told me to buy Microsoft at $5. Early. He was like, yo, get these shares early. You get to get these shares now. And I didn't do it. And then the market dropped and I still could have bought shares cheaper and I didn't. Because I didn't understand what was happening. The desktop, the office suite, any room, any place could become an office. If you had Microsoft, if you had Excel, if you had PowerPoint, if you had Office, Outlook for the email, if you had these things, that was the same thing you had at the offices. So if you had it at your own home, boom. And all you have to do is pay a software license, and now your house is basically an office space, and you can do all the things you did at your office at home. Boom and boom. Now you can use the software for services on your own using time as a leverage, which we'll get into. Right? We all got the same 24 damn hours. And people are never really thinking about their freaking economy. Like, what is your economy? Like, okay, recession coming. Okay, stock market crash coming. Great. It means it's an opportunity for you to buy low, sell high. Okay, how are you making capitalization? Because your ports are open. All these companies have a card and they say, come get my card, come get my card. So you can swipe and go. Or you can connect it to your bank account and get it to your bank account and you have a card there. So you can swipe and go. That is your exit. What is your port of exits? And at this moment, it seems like a lot of people are sitting there waiting around for something. And a lot of people are sitting there waiting, well, what's the Fed gonna do? What's that gonna do to me? Nothing. Unless you wanted to. Look, I've been out of work. Out. Told one of my cousins to get out of her job before it went down years ago. As far as it didn't go down, but they started cutting things off. I saw the consolidation. You see it in the music industry, the consolidation from labels. Remember all the labels we used to have? All the small independent labels, where are they? All of them. Agglomerated, conglomerated. They're getting smashed into basically the machine is devouring the machine and is devouring the machine. And it's in quick succession as these layers collapse, as more and more gets digitized. But in that same regard, the ease of how you digitize is becoming easier and easier. It's coming down in levels. Like before, outsourcing was only when I was in at Citibank. Outsourcing was what we were doing, and not every company was doing outsourcing. We were already working in India. We had to get up early in the morning because the time differences, right? But now you can do the same thing. Go to Fiverr and you can get anybody internationally. All right. What I want you to understand is that they understand that they can't do no more. They can't give you work. You have to give you work. And if I'm on a place like Fiverr.com, and then the only thing I got to do is say I want web design or WordPress, right? Look, boom. If I want to manage work and manage WordPress, and I need somebody to do a WordPress site for me, for a client, well, boom. I will design starting at $95. Before, there used to be flags everywhere, so you could tell exactly where they were coming from. I think you have to go into it now, like go in here and look at the individual. Got it. Or maybe I got to be logged in. Hold on. Let me see if I log in. if that does it. Bang. There you go. Let me see if it does. No, they took that off. They don't tell you. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's United States. That's who's here. About the seller. Oh, here we go. Pakistan. They just don't put the flags up anymore. But they used to have the flags so you can know where they are. But now you've got to actually go in and look. And typically they are managing. He's in Pakistan managing other people. So he's the liaison to get it done. You can see 207 people can get either a basic, standard, or premium package for $240. I would not charge $240 for a damn website. It's a run to the bottom. That is welcome to the gig economy. So that's why I said, if you think you're going to just be freelancing on your own, I think you got to have to think a little bit differently. Unless you're hunting for your own clientele in your own niches, doing it with your own social medias and not going through a private service. Because you have to work within the bounds of this economy, their rules. Like I can't email anybody directly or give them my email. I can't really build a business here. Logistically, I can, but I have to use something else. Like my bypass would be I make a PDF as a thank you and say I'm using it on this page and give them a link and say this is the page where it's at. And on that page, when they click on that link, a pop-up comes up and says, hey, subscribe to my to my business journal newsletter for when we offering services and blah, 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 blah. And now I've got them linked into my system via their email. And then I'll just ask them what their Fiverr screen name is and bow. Bypass lesson. Right? You got to bypass contracts. But that's why I'm saying that they're not going to fix this problem, right? When you can go to Fiverr and I can outsource everything my damn self and act like I was when I was at Citibank years ago, right now, today, for $200 and something, what can you tell me? I can now go get my own clientele and just build on that. If I can get a client for $500 who's in a corporate business and I tell them what I'm looking for and this is what it is, I just have to be a project manager. Or I can hire a project manager and see what I'm saying? Or I can build a system and have the system be the project Welcome to Toxic Hustle. Now you can kind of start seeing why I'm building the things I'm building. Because I already know what the problem is. I've worked with enough people. I've seen the problem. I've worked with a wealth manager who was in social media. Like we had to manage his Facebook accounts and manage his MySpace and his YouTube and his Instagram. And he was doing his Money Church Mondays. That'll give you a hint of who it was. Did that for about 6 months. Trying to get a business built out on software automation for somebody who didn't understand tech and still wanted to sell real estate and real estate instruction. And I was looking at the landscape of real estate like, real estate, it's analog. And unless you're going to be paying a whole lot of money past these banks that are all flooding into the market and you're willing to pay like the millions it's going to be in a bit, I don't think that's going to be the move. But, what can I tell the guy that's making more money than me? I'm just the guy that actually built software that generated millions of dollars for a company. And is still generating millions of dollars for a company. Without me. Because I built a robot, an automation platform, which we all can do now. I believe the WordPress of automation is n8n.io. And I'm willing to share that with everybody. I found WordPress at 2.5 and built a job and a business out of it. I think there's 2 pieces of automation software people should learn and put them on their resume. And that is for the corporate world. Okay, 3. You do need to know Zapier because there's a bunch of companies that are cheap. Right? So Zapier is 1. Number 2, You have to do Zapier is one. N8N.io is the WordPress, I believe, of automation, and you can install it on your own Raspberry Pi. And they have a desktop version that works with Windows. And then the corporate version of automation is going to be Microsoft. Again, why I'm buying the stock, because people don't seem to understand Microsoft is a dirty dog, and they love destroying something beautiful. Microsoft, and they bought the company that did my automation software, and I knew exactly what move they're about to make. Power Automate. Put this on your resume, you'll be good too. Again, just go on YouTube and look up Microsoft Power Automate tutorials, and you'll find a plethora of people. Right? So all you do, go here, copy. I'm going to put Microsoft Power Automate. You see it shows up right there, tutorial. Wow. This guy right here, Kevin, is good. That's a good guy to learn from. Yep, him. And I guess, I don't know who this guy is, but I guess he's all right. I mean, he's gotten 13,000 plays and ish, but you can learn it here. Learn it from this dude. He's a good dude. He works with Microsoft a lot. So I would go to him and look at that. But I would put that on my resume. And I have put it on my resume, because I've been using the automation software for a bit. Like I said, but the N8N, that one. And then, of course, low code, no code tools like Builder. So that you can, this is where I'm going to be developing my sites. I just got to get into more CSS programming and some custom JavaScript I got to work on, because this is a really open tool, and it's really good for developers right now. But there is, you can build things on your own without being a developer, like a full-fledged developer. I am wanting it to do a lot more things than it's capably ready to do, so I'm having to build them myself. But that's what you do when you know you can do it. So there's things I want to build. There's modules I want to have in there, like project management. There's a way I want to do it. So I'm building my own project management component. I'm building my own link redirection component. I'm also building a click tracking component, because then when I'm working with my clients and I'm like moving my girl's her menu items for her catering company is going to be through my marketing company. And all of that data is going to be running through, and how I push it to other places is going to be running through here. And as I said, like, I'm going to have databases in the cloud like Xano, and then that will connect to all my robots, and that's how I'm going to cross-pollinate information going back and forth. You got to think of this almost like a mail sorting, like data going back and forth, just like those old school mail sorting machines. Well, that's all this is now. It's data bits traveling all over the place. You're not just using Facebook, and you're now using multiple systems and connecting them and creating something out of them, creating a business workflow. Just people don't understand that. You know, people are afraid of technology. And the thing is, computers are old school, especially in maritime world. This is an old school computer from mariners back in the day, us. And this is the visualization of what it might have been. The ancient Greeks. But you know, I tell ya, you know how I say. You know I can't say it. You know I can't say it. Da 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 ba ba Greek. Oh, from Carthage. He looks like my uncle. Look at them lips. I think someone's hiding something. Damn, he looks so swarthy. What is Drake doing here? That looks like my cousin Ben, his wife. Boy, and my other cousin, boy, I like. Let's get it. Dreadlocks. Dreadlocks. I'm just saying, don't play me. Okay. All right. So moving on. Why are we confused? Why are we worried about computers when we been had them things? We just getting back our tings. We just getting back our toys. The electricity is back on. We got running water again. We're able to trade and buy businesses and sell businesses again. Just ain't got a whole town anymore. You know, that scares people. Okay. Do it for Delph. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. You got the... You need to get up, get out, and get something. So, why do I bring that up? Why do I bring up the old images of old? Because when I read Malcolm X back in the day, Malcolm X had said something in there. He said that Indians of the West, but it wasn't going there, but West Indians were acting like what they considered black JU, right? With an S, right? So they were calling us that. So a lot of people called West Indians that. So the reason why I bring that up is because the Caribbean Indians of the West, at least according to my grandmother, who told me, like, well, we come from China. Parts of our blood come from China. So again, black Asiatic, that we were with the natives that were there, the tribal natives. And those tribal natives would go back and forth to a landmass via ship. That landmass was the quote-unquote Americas. Al-Marak, right? So, just saying. These things are these things. These who we are is who we are. Now, what do you do with that? It means you go back to work. Because they really don't know what they're doing. They really don't know what they're doing. And it's up to you to kind of figure that out. Like when you realize, okay, they kind of don't get they don't kind of get what they're doing. They're kind of like guessing. You know, way back then. So if there was West Indians and there's Southern Indians, which we'll call Mexico, right? Which would still be the Caribbean as well, but we'll know. We'll whatever. They're West, North, whatever the frick, right? And then you're the Northern Indians, right? But then this doesn't matter. You're all Indians. So then again, I ask you, Native people, where the hell is your commerce? Where is it? Where's your commerce? You're so busy worrying about what somebody else can give you, but then it's your commerce. Yours. Where is you? What do you do? What's in your wallet? Because unbeknownst to you, you already have to live in immigrant mind state. That's what my parents had to come here with. I have nothing. That's why my mom, I have nothing. This place don't care that I have nothing. It's a very hard place to live. I have to, this is how much it costs to live here. I have to get a job that beats the cost of living here. What job positions do that? What's my growth potential? And that's how my family approached it. And all of them became nurses. You know, West Indian nursing. It's crazy. Right? That's just what they do. It's an easy field. And my uncle would tell me, like, your mother tells me you're on the computer and you spend time. This is back in 96 or something like that. You spend time playing with a computer, you waste your days, and you should get a job. You're never going to do anything like that. I was like, okay. So how much am I supposed to make? This is how much and I was like 20 something. This is how much of an a-hole I was, because I already knew what computers were going to be. I already was getting ready to get out of the music industry the old school way, and then say I was going to own a part of this industry. That's how visualized I was. I was like, because at the end of the day, y'all, even if you get a small possession, you got to take ownership of this industry. And I believed that I could take a 0.00000000000.1 of $1 trillion industry. I don't give a damn if it's that little of $1 trillion industry. There is an industry called the media industry. It makes X amount of money. Most of it was analog driven, and all of those analog lines got kicked in the nuts. It got kicked square in the nuts, like Cartman says. I kick you square in the nuts. Right? That's exactly what's going down. And for a long time, they've also been able to play the Cartman episode where it's like, you can't get in. We have all this stuff, you can't get in. Technology doesn't give a damn. It wants efficiency. Things that were hard to do get easier to do. Things that you couldn't do before, software puts the automation factors in to make your life a little bit easier. The immigrant mind state is realizing that nothing's going to be given to you. Well, that is your tribal mind state too. Because unfortunately for you, you now have to act just like my parents did and just like I do, being born here too. Right? I'm born black, blacked out. What does that mean? I've been redacted. Any questionable, for the way that I've been put into this law structure, any claims to my homeland has to go through a whole lot of ish. But to do said things I need to. What up, Mean Jane? To do what I need to do, I have to create corporate structures and flags, pirate flags. Period. Because the family crests became pirate flags that flew. Those crests became logos because they're simple like that. Like Hilton. And those family crests, like Disney, passed generationally. So, where is your generational money? Period. Now, I use CD Baby as my repository to do what I do with my intellectual property because I pay one time $20-something, and that's it. I get YouTube for free. So if you're using, I don't mind y'all wanting to upload wherever distro. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to say their name because they'll try to smash me because I tell the truth. Come up with a $20 all-you-can-eat plan. If not, shut the fuck up. Even TuneCore, which I despised, at least did that. You should be able to pay one time, and get all your royalties. Not a piece of your royalties, all of it. So unlimited means dick if you're not getting all of your YouTube and not having to pay individually for every song or item you're putting up. That's dumb. And then if you don't pay your bill, what happens to your intellectual content? Do you still get paid? Okay. There is, but that's not what this is about, man. What does it matter? Do you have cash flow? Like, you're not a moron unless you're actually a banker. Because we didn't call ourselves that crap. We just were swaggy. We just did work. Everybody wants a damn title. Those titles got our ass kicked. It was because of that. You know, running around, having our harems, putting M over B's because they breed MV, huh? That's our problem. We care about title over work. Just get to work. Like, where is our banks? Where is our financial structures? Who's investing in what? What is the businesses? What is your returns? How can we grade you like we grade all kind of asset classes on these streets? If you can't do that, then we ain't saying nothing. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Is CD Baby better than TuneCore? TuneCore comes later doing a business model. But TuneCore changed their business model to get into that. They didn't think of that up front and just do that just because it made good business sense. They did it because they had to pivot, because people like me have been saying, this is dumb. And they can't explain that if I have a place that just does it. So yeah, they can change their business model, but they can always change back. I don't trust you. And they've been scraping people for a while, man, and it irks me. Like I said, when I found CD Baby and it was all you can eat, what do I care? They gave me TikTok straight up with all my other stuff, y'all. TikTok didn't exist when I got on CD Baby. You can see how old my songs are. This is my R&D. I was on another one. I was on a company called Songcast, straight up. Like, I'll tell you, I lived that, where every single one, and then when I stopped paying, all of my albums dropped, or they kicked me off because I was doing my own automation and pumped my music up. And then I learned that I got hit. I got some good royalties out of it for a minute, though. But I got hit with it. But then I learned, okay, I can't do that. And that was pre-SM Zeus. I wrote automation scripts that actually played Spotify. Boy, I was killing it. And I made it look natural. Just didn't put it on VPNs. Yeah, they'll change their terms and services. Like, look, this company gives me Chinese money. Like, literally, I don't ask for nothing anymore. Like, every time I turn around, a new company comes out, bang, I got royalties for it. I got royalties from Tencent. Yeah, well, that's China. I don't know if it's elevator music. I don't know what the hell they're doing with my music. I don't care. I get paid. I'm getting paid in Russia. So all this shoot they're talking about, y'all, I am not gassed on it. Because, oh, we're going to war with Russia. Oh, we're going to war with China. But all of the artists are getting paid. The creative force of the planet is getting paid from everybody. Are you kidding me? I am not beat. And I'm a former military person. USMC, hoorah. And I can tell you, I ain't beat for the gas. I went to Japan, y'all, and for the first time I walked into town, an old Japanese woman, bless her soul, touched my face and was speaking Japanese to her granddaughter. And I was asking her, like, what is she saying? Because all I heard was kawaii, kawaii. And I was using that for game, like going to the club. And I learned that was cute. So I'd be up there like, hey, sumimasen, excuse me, kawaii, yo. Like, you're cute. Right? Gee! And plus I was rapping and I could freestyle. Oh, you can tell me ish. Cause I was like, and that was when Wu-Tang came out and they had the instrumentals and I had a DJ in Hiroshima that was like feeding me hot verses and hot beats. And I was just like freestyling shit. Boom, 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 boom. I came to bring the pain hardcore to the brain. Let's go inside my astral flame. What, man? And be able to rip them things. And then Japanese people losing their freaking mind thinking I'm like from Wu-Tang. You from New York? Wu-Tang. Boy, I was loving it. Ooh. Oh, God, I loved Japan. But back to the story. Like, so I walk into the store. I'm going to get a mink blanket, right? It's right outside of base. And this older woman's touching my face. Her daughter's looking at her. I'm like, what does your grandmother say? She's like, what is she saying? She's like, my grandmother says your skin is beautiful. Kawaii. Beautiful. I was like, really? She's like, yes, your skin is the first skin. All of our skin comes from your skin. Y'all, I don't know what I can tell you about not feeling like a no. But in that moment, I never in my life appreciated me like she had appreciated me. She touched my soul with that statement. And you know what happened? This military, feeling like he's on top of the world, young black man, walked back on base and immediately felt racism for the first time in my life. viscerally felt the negative impact and the negative standing that it made me feel like. And wow, it changed my vibration from feeling elation at somebody realizing my worth to realizing I'm still worthless. And I left the military after that. And it didn't stop there. When I was in Japan, it was a day that they call Friendship Day in Hiroshima. Like, the Most High does what he does. I was in Japan, I was in Iwakuni, Japan, and that's basically where you go, is Iwakuni, right? No, excuse me, Okinawa. You go to Okinawa. That's the rock, basically Alcatraz. And I'm not, no disrespect, Okinawa, I love you, but that's how we feel in the military, because there's really just the island, and you don't get to go to, you have to go to mainland. You got to fly off the island to go to mainland, and then when you get to mainland, you know, you gotta, it's a trip, you gotta go back. Now, I was in Okinawa, and then the Most High, for some reason, I'm supposed to be there, and then for some reason my orders got shifted, and I got put back on mainland in Iwakuni, Japan. That's 45 minutes from Hiroshima, where they dropped the, you know what? I dropped them, baby, right? Ow, ow, ow. So on Friendship Day, I walk out and I go, my roommate, he's been living in Japan, in Iwakuni, the entire time, got a girlfriend out in Tokyo, and he's telling me all this. He's like, and he's the one that got the inside to the bar that we're going at. Back then it was called DJ Bar G, man. Love that place. I wish it was still around. But there was a place called DJ Bar G, and he was basically the liaison of the base there. He got all the rappers to go there, and we would get straight up paid. Like, I was paid in alcohol, free alcohol, and the lovely, lovely ladies being able to look up at me on a stage, and a DJ playing the music I want. Whew, I felt like Hollywood. And then every time they had a rap contest, I was destroying everybody with freestyles. Like, destroying everybody with freestyles. Right? So literally there's a day called Friendship Day. And on Friendship Day, the base tells every military personnel, do not, and it's called Friendship Day because really it's the day that they dropped the bomb. So they want to call it Friendship Day, but it ain't nothing friendly when you do something like that, homie. Come on now, stop playing yourself. Right? So on Friendship Day, so I was like, yo, but I'm telling my roommate, Mike's like, yo, man, we're going to go to Hiroshima. It's going to be live. And I was like, yo, they're telling us like it's that, you know, there's going to be riots in the street. He's like, yeah, we're going. I was like, oh, okay, let's go. So we go that night, right? So we go, we're out in town. It's like right after we work, and we were getting off early. So it's like, no, it was the base was basically shut down, and there was parties and all that stuff, and it's shut down, and then there's cleanup the next day. So all day you're performing. My DJ actually came to the base, and I performed on the base. I have pictures of it. I'll show y'all another time when I can scan them in. But yo, so I'm recording that day, and then that evening I'm going to be in Hiroshima doing shows. So I go out. So he's like, you coming? I'm like, a DJ like, you come tonight. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, gonna be live party. You come tonight. Skibby, he goes, well, Skibby means horny. He's like, you Skibby Honcho #1, lots of ladies. So he's trying to pimp me with the pimpery that there's gonna be women there. He's like, Skibby Honcho #1, you, lots of ladies love you. You come. Man, RTP, it was dangerous. Dangerous, man, especially if you are a musician. Like, our swag, like, we are magnetic when we leave, man. If you go to Germany, it's the same thing. If you go all over the place where our energy is already there, like, we're magnetically there, y'all. Like, I magnetically went to the Kintai like this. Hold on, boom. Like, Kintai. Right? Like this. Right here, Kintai Bridge, Yamagata Prefecture, Iwakuni Castle. It lies where Iwakuni Castle. This bridge, man, I went here and they have like the rose, you know, when you watch anime and you see the rose petals fall, man, that is a thing for real. There's another place to do, another place that they have it, and it's where Japanese go. And I'm gonna send, I want y'all to understand who we are. I know that Japanese come to. Macon, Georgia has the same thing, rose petals. They have a rose petal festival that a small Japanese community goes and does because they miss home. Iwakuni, Japan, Macon, Georgia. Ain't that some ish? And I just thought about that again. Like, I haven't really reflected on it. Macon, man, there's something that is soulful about that place. I at times I miss being there just because it was so earthy, so soulful, so rich. Same thing with Japan, man. It's just so rich. But anyway, back to the party night, because my ADD's crazy. So literally, we're going. So it's the Hiroshima Day, and they have the wall where unfortunately, like, bodies flashed into this wall, and they show that. So as we're walking, we parked because we had to park far away from where the club was, and plus we're gonna go eat. We're gonna do some other things. So we're walking down. Right? What's up, homie? What's up, Rayhan? Was playing in Koala Sampler, getting, all right, get your dealer on, homie. I'm talking about my time in Japan, man, and how the people there really understand who we are. So I'm walking down the street, right? We're walking, and we get basically where we come out from around a corner. We just grabbed something from one of those things you see in anime where such as those shops, and in those shops you have like especially if you like to watch the anime the one where they play volleyball. I think it's Haiku. In there, the coach works in one of those shops. And I think you even see it in Bleach, where the Shingami come down and they work in one of those shops. And they have like you could basically, you go in there and it's like hot food all night, cold coffees. Basically you can get whole meals, like great meals in these little places, and they're all compartmentalized, nice and hot. But anyway, so we went into one of those, got something to eat because we knew we were going to be able to get to a restaurant yet. And we're walking down the street, and basically there's a march going on. It's basically an anti-American military march walking down the street. So me and my homie Mike, my roommate, we walking down, and we get caught up in this whole flood of Japanese men and women just angry at military people and angry at America. And they're like, F America, F America, F America, F America. And they're just running down the street. And then I'm like, so this one Japanese guy, he's grabbing my hand and he's like throwing it in the air, talking about F America, F America. I'm like, yo, man, I'm American. So he looks at me strange, like, nigga, please. And he looks at me, he's like, no. So he touches my palm. He touches the back of my hand. He says, you, me, right? And he turns my palm over to the white side of my palm, and he says, America. Then he grabs my hand, sticks it back in the air, and says, fuck America, fuck America. So me and my roommate just look at each other, and we just start going off, like, yeah! Yo, it was so dope, man. It was like, again, another situation where my skin was welcomed. Just like that old woman that told me through her granddaughter translating that my skin was the first skin. Here's another person telling me that my skin was okay. And again, walking back on base, visceral. I know exactly who I was and what I was to them. So when I got out, there's only two things you can do when you get out of the military, y'all. You either have a good MOS, which is your military operations skill. You either have a good MOS. I was in computers. I was supply, because I knew how to. I guess I passed my test enough for me to be a data entry person. When you get out of the military, that's basically it. I had Excel skills. That's what I learned. Like, you're gonna have so many skills when you come back out. Okay, I know Excel. The day they called what again? Oh, they called it Friendship Day, but it was the day of Hiroshima. So in Japan, it was day, right? Shima. I know I'm spelling it wrong. I apologize, my brothers. January 26th. Yup, that's about the time. It was early in January because right after my birthday is in December because I'm a Sag. And then I lost rank right around here. I lost rank on my birthday. And then I was like, screw them. If I lose more rank, I don't care. But I didn't lose any more rank. But yeah. So January 26th, it called Hiroshima Day, but the military called it I think it's Friendship Day. Yep. The MCCS Iwakuni. Iwakuni's Friendship Day. So it's one of these days. It's either this day or it was this day. I can't remember which day it was. Because it seems now they're different days. The friendship, it wasn't on Friendship Day. I think it was this day that we ended up going. But anyway. So when I came back to the United States, my the only thing I had is what my staff sergeant told me was that Microsoft, right? And then I didn't realize it would meant that every house now had a computer and you could now use that skill set. I'd use AOL to learn something and graphics. I figured graphics could make money. My uncle asked me, I asked my uncle how much I was supposed to make. He said I need to make at least 50 grand if it's going to be a good job. So, okay. So I learned Photoshop. I put that on my resume and that immediately got me to $35,000, $40,000 a year. Right? So immediately that was my hack. Look at the jobs, look at the job market, try to get into a job market where pretty much if you have a college degree, it gets you about 100, 150K. And because I had only a high school degree, I would need my skills and my portfolio, my digital portfolio, i.e. website, to be able to prove that I could do what I do. Now, the difference, the hack I used was rather than make a portfolio site as if you got out of school, make a business site. Even if you have to use a business template, y'all. Like, don't be too ain't too proud to switch, right? Look, go to I'm gonna give you some jugs right now. Themeforest.net, right? Boom, you go to ThemeForest. Even if you do WordPress, because you can still use WordPress for something like this. This hustle still works. So you can go get a content management system. You can get WordPress, right? Then you can get a creative portfolio, right? Business portfolio. Get one of these, put a form on there. This way you can get clients and start designing a bunch of different styles using these types of templates, design a whole bunch of different styles of websites, screenshot them, put them on change them up, make them look like they're official, and then just say, this is a sample, here's a sample of da-da-da-da-da, or a sneaker company launch, football team, sport event. Like, just create multiple styles of business grade or company grade websites, and then have a form, and then people contact you, and then you get paid. Right? That's how you do that. Now you get paid to your PayPal, and PayPal that's everybody being scared about this $600. Everybody sees your bank account. It's already happened to every independent contractor on the planet. You have to do that. Every corporation I work with, I have to get paid $600. After $600, I get a 1099. It's just the law. Been that way. Right? So my journey back from the military, realizing there was nothing here left for me. I'm now learning how, I'm going to music studios, and I'm like, this doesn't make no sense because I can have a computer, I can put Cakewalk on it, and I can now record my friends in my neighborhood and charge $25 for recording time rather than $150, $200. So I was just scalping that ish. And then I was like, well, shit. I met one of my homeboys. He was studying Dr. York, right? This is a guy that sells incense on the street, and he had AOL. And I was like, and when I came back, again, I didn't know nothing about internet. I thought internet was for nerds. And here's this guy from the Bronx who has, braids in his hair, and he's selling incense on the streets, wearing a leather jacket in the cold, talking about, yo, sister, sister. And he's hitting her, trying to hit her with knowledge and all this other stuff. And he's selling those instants and books, right? And I started and then he also had artists he was working with. And then we were starting to talk about business, and he had a business company, he had a fashion line. And my pivot point was I took all of his fashion and that became part of my portfolio. So I was learning things like facial swapping in Photoshop and body swapping faces because he no longer had those people. So how do I take a person's face, put it on another model's body, but it still be his clothes? But since he had no access to that person, we couldn't use their face anymore. So matching people's faces to other things. I was doing face swap years ago, manually. It just took 4 hours. Now you can do it in nothing. Adobe lessened that. Automation lessens it. So things like those tools, now you buy those tools and you write them the hell off. Leverage. My first real hustle with him was we were going to come to Macon, Georgia. Actually, he wanted to go to freaking Milledgeville because that's where, the whole Nuwaubian Nation thing was. And I was like, nah, man, nah, homie. We got to have equipment and cats they're going to be scoping. And we need to be someplace else. And then I felt Macon's vibe and I was like, this is it. Abraham Lincoln, y'all are damn crazy. Right? So we went to Macon and we're going to start our record label there. And what I did was I got my a friend of mine to go ahead and make some cards for me. We went down to the mall and I handed out all these production cards. Somebody found it and I got my first production gig for one of the local herbal dispensaries of the time, the street pharmacist, my homeboy. And so he wanted to, he wanted to get his album done. He had his cousins. They were all in different gangs. And he was unifying all of them together. So you had Blood, you had Crips, and you had Folk all together. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Let's do this. Right? And so we started working on their projects. And that's how I started getting some money. And that's how I started working on MySpace, doing layouts. And so all of this was growing into media. I was now running a little mini record labels. I was even selling CDs down the street. To show them, yo, y'all can't make no money off your own music. Let me show you. And I walk right down the street, hand somebody a CD and say, yo, homie, this is your one of your homeboys right here in this local area. Just check it out in your car. I want to see how it bumps. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, that shit's dope. Man, don't even take that out. $5, man. All right, man, here you go. Done. Just like my phone said. Dig me? I just showed you how you hustle CDs. Awesome. My mama-in-law just landed. Mister. Hold on, y'all. Let me tell her I love her. Love my mother-in-law, man. She's a blessing. Tell her I love her. There we go. Love her. I hate typing with my thumbs. Doing all types of twisted shit with the fingers. Right? So we became a label. A small label. I was using MySpace to distribute my boys. I was using robots to be able to push them forward. It was called Friend Blaster at the time. I was able to get them into any neighborhood I wanted. So I was spreading them wherever my homeboy Ty Durden was going in to, he was in Statesboro. So I got the Statesboro zip codes of all the wealthiest portions of Statesboro, put those zip codes in, put a radius of 1 or 2 miles or 5 miles or whatever it was, and then boom, hit the button and gathered all the ideas of all that and hit it hard. Ended up finding one of my relationships right there like that. That was the woman I thought I was going to marry. This is before this is before 2007, 2008 collapse. Right? So this whole transition, I was going to do a label, and then that was getting harder. Clubs weren't pumping as hard. People weren't going out as much. Things were getting heavier. And then I found Second Life. Then I was doing virtual stuff, designing virtual clothes. Here was another hustle. You're going to end up being able to do this one again. When it comes back around, I'm giving it to you. Because this is how I survived the jugs. This whole new digital-ish, y'all, it's the same game. It's called skins. 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 You are buying skins for desktops, right? You bought a skin for your desktop back in the day. You bought a skin for your phone back in the day. Well, you'll buy skins for your avatar. You'll buy clothes for your avatar. You'll buy shoes for your avatar. And that's what Second Life was. I made 500 a month. The conversion rate, because they have an exchange and it went straight to PayPal, was I made $500, right? So I have to multiply that by the exchange rate, which was 266 Linden, which means I was making $133,000 in world selling clothes that I could find online. All this swaggy stuff. I just couldn't call it like, I made baby fat jeans from baby fat jeans by putting them in Photoshop to the templates. Skintopia, yeah. So now everything is coming back again. I already know what's going to come. Y'all, I told my business partner, Ty Durden, what up, Playboy? Told my business partner years ago, I said, yo, when real life becomes like Second Life, we're going to make a shitload of money, bro. I tell you, I share everything with y'all, man. I don't play. Bang. This is on my ish. You use APIs and you can make products. APIs, data. Hook data to your shit via API. What do I be telling y'all? Huh? And you can print on demand. What if I made an NFT that you bought for some clothes and you put it in your wallet and you staked it, and over X amount of time, it would print you and manufacture out an actual physical copy of that? You got to get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by. What do we do with zip files? We take MP3s, we put them in a zip file, and we sell what's in the zip file. That was Second Life. I put it inside a package. The package had files, and I sold the files inside the package because all you had to do was click on the 3D package, and a UI popped up, and it said purchase, and it took it out of your wallet. I.e., like the little thing right here called MetaMask, all right? Okay, just saying. Just saying. I want to give you as many ways to make money. I know there's lots of fear in the world right now, but I've given you work. I can say, hey, you can go put it on your resume. There's plenty of people who hire you if you have certain things on your resume for like automation. You know, we're going into the automation age, the Internet of Things. I am just an asset class in them things. This is me, my asset class. That asset class, hold on, let me, new window. Let me go pull up my CD baby stats because I ain't done that in a minute. See what we got going on, right? Like I said, transparency. When I tell you I like a ting-ting, I like a ting-ting for the ting-ting I like ting-ting. I just open it sometime to find out what new thing they're giving me. Real talk. Let's see what we got. Let me drag it over here for y'all so y'all can see it. Bang, I'm in my CD, baby. Boom, these are the three things you see over here. Hold on. Where is my CD, baby? My Spotify. So here's my Spotify. Tragic Sacrifice, The Beat Chronicles, which is my beat CD. That was my test in 2019 to see if these will start streaming, if I'll get revenue from that. A single that I just wanted to put out because I was testing music videos. Testing After Effects and using cartoonish type effects. I just wanted to try it out with that song and see what would happen with it because it was a sample from a well-known producer. So I just wanted to see if I could still get royalties with it. And then with this one, Tragic Sacrifice is my second album. It's the first album I released publicly because my first one is my it's called To Be Determined. It's for my daughter, but I haven't released it because it was after her passing. So this is after I lost my first relationship, and this is after I just didn't care anymore. I was like, my ex, the one that we lost our child together, she had come back into my life, and after that had to end, I made this out. or right before I met her, I made parts of this album. It was in between. It was parts before she got into my life, and then it was parts after she got out of my life. And I was like trying to be pimpery. He was making presents before Club Penguin. Club Penguin was my first experience at Second Life ish. Club Penguin. You know what I'm saying? So when we're looking at hold on, give me a second. I want to open my screen back up. There we go. And I need my other screen. All right, so now let's look at this. So as I showed you, got my Beats album. Hasn't made too much as far as that. You can see my total distribution, not too much on that. I haven't been pushing it. So again, this is just on its own, by itself, me not really pushing that. But let's look at the transactions that have been coming. I'm going to have this all downloaded into my into ToxicHustle soon, so that I can actually start tracking all this. I want to be able to, anybody that has CD Baby, to be able to upload their stuff to be able to have a royalty tracker for yourself. That way you can also track your own investments. All right, so let me put this to 500 per page so we can kind of look at the whole thing. And that way you can kind of look at these royalty points. Like royalties is a low thing, but you got to get the numbers up. And you're trying to take too long. Let's put you at 100. And you're being... Oh, you're just not going to work today. Wow. Not... Stand there. Why you no play my stuffy? All right. Let's try this one more time. There we go. We won't go 200. Boom, 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 boom. So they ain't Drake records. So basically, they ain't Drake records. I have it in the back office DAP of your website for analytics, of course. So all right, so check this out. TikTok, their stuff is still cheap, so you're not really getting anything there. That's still low. But Spotify got some plays there. YouTube. So YouTube content, and then there's also another YouTube thing. Let's see, YouTube music sale, UMA, Yandex, Amazon, iTunes, KK Boss. I don't even know what the hell that is. I think that's Korea, TikTok. That's China. Tidal. All right, go ahead, Tidal. I don't get much from y'all, but whatever. 10 cent. That's told you, China. How much do I get out of China, man? Y'all still skimming me. I mean, you get 0.00001. That's like Bitcoin, man. But this is like, you think of it like stablecoin. Like this is my CD Baby is my music stablecoin. There you go. It's because it's pegged to a US dollar, right? So that's TikTok, more TikTok, Amazon, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify. And then I got a customer pay it. And again, I'm not even pushing this stuff yet. Amazon's been giving me love. Apple's been giving some love. I'll take it. But again, I didn't ask for... Oh, Facebook. Look at... Oh, I'm going to get crazy when I start pirating my stuff. Let me tell you. Everything's digital, y'all. My fiat is digital. This goes either to a bank account or PayPal. This then can go to... from there, from there, that then can go over here to Coinbase, and then on Coinbase, I can earn APYs, especially 0.15. That's a stable coin, and this is another stable coin, a 2% APY. I can get at least 2% on something that's kind of like just sitting there, and that doesn't even what you can do on going on something like what is it called? Hey, do I have it here? Hey, I don't. Exodus, right? The Exodus wallet. Where's my Exodus wallet? Wait, no, that's not it. Think it's you. Yep, that's you. I think that's you. See, now on your Exodus wallet, wow, if we go to, not right now. If we go to, really? Jeez, hold on, y'all. Because it's not going to let me do this without updating. So let me not. Oh, good. You're all right. So I can do this while it's updating. All right, cool. Exchange, a compound, a wallet, rewards. There we go. Let's go to the rewards. And then you go to Cardano. You got a 4.1%. You go to Cosmos. You got a 13.3%. You got VeChain. You got Solana at 5%. I actually want to stack some Solana over here. Once it gets down to a nice price point. So you can see you've got some interest in other places if you want to stick it there. I actually already have like some Cardano staking here. I'm just going to leave it there to stake. Yeah, man, I'm damn update bot. All right, so now let's close that out. So now you like again, my thing is this, right? And we don't know what's going to win. And I don't really care what wins at this point. I need network power. I want to be able to mint my NFTs cheaply. And I don't want the network to stop. So Solana, you're starting to annoy me. Like I have like no hope, no cap in my rap. Y'all know that. I don't do hopium, right? I liked Solana because they talk about the promise of what we're going to deliver, right? We are the service for developers, but you've shut down twice. Bit once, back in the day when, what's his name was still around, Satoshi. But other than that, it doesn't stop. It just keeps going. If Bitcoin stopped and they took, we need to turn off the system, nobody would use this shit. But they can just stop their system. That doesn't mean it. That means it's not as decentralized as everybody wants to believe. We just got to understand that there's a risk that's associated with centralization of my data and my content. If you can turn the system off, that means that my data might not be safe. It potentially could be converted or changed based off of your whims. I can't have that. That is a very risky thing for me. Like, look, if I wanted that, I can be on any server right now. You don't even need blockchain for that shit. Like, look, blockchain is slow. So if you want fast speed or as an app, your best bet right now is to build some kind of very low transaction-based app, right? You need a transaction-based app. You need an app that's using no SQL databases like MongoDB or any of that stuff. You're JSON, right? You need very dynamic, modular applications at this point. And we don't like what they're getting ready to the whole BS that they're doing with this shift to digital is the understanding that, yo, we all got to shift digitally. Now, look, we have to hold our ones and our zeros, especially now that they're talking about, again, the $600 thing, which again is they're just, it's like you said, cap apocalypse, right? Rehan, look, if you do business with a company, a corporation, any corporation, and that corporation is filing taxes and has an EIN and all that other good shit, if you work with them and you get over $600, you then have to give them your social security number. They draft up the 1099 and you get that at the beginning of the year. And you have to pay taxes. So this ain't new. Like Rehan said, the future is modularo. And it is, again, I know I sound retardedly redundant with this, which is this. Do we see more analog coming or more digital coming? In 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Okay, if you say that in 20 years, you're expecting it to be digital, ding, 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 pivot. Stop acting like a dumbass. Like my MG says, Stop being cute and clamorous and frickin' pivot. As he says, stack your papers, little duffel bag boy. MG, not pocket watching. Just want to show them something. MG has a website. MG sells zip files with material inside zip files. He launches every X amount of time to get X amount of revenue from X amount of people, scaling out his percentile. I have bought multiple things from MG I ain't even used yet. In fact, I bought something and the link expired. And I went and bought it again. Then made sure I downloaded it. I stopped worrying. Like the minute I made a pivot back when the studio days, and I told my friends, yo, I'm going to start recording at my house. They thought I was stupid. And now look at everybody. I told them all of these record labels are going to be gone. New York City now, gone. All of those big record places that were the shite to be, gone. All right. How do you get paid in a 360 world, right? Because Prince turned himself into a symbol to bypass copyrights. They patched the hole given a 360 deal. Thank you, Prince. And then they tell you that his assets are now only worth $100,000. The BS that we're dealing with is that we don't understand that everything has gone digital. Our jobs are all digital. The capital, the banks are getting all digital ones and zeros that are fake. He has his PayPal. He's getting that money to his bank account, and he can go eat. That's PayPal or Cash App or da 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 blah blah blah. I'm going to use all of them, best believe, and I'm going to try to give him his royalties for it. I'm going to eat my own dog food. Like I've been telling y'all, everything I'm doing, I'm building the software to, one, help ToxicHustle, the media company, because it's going to need content to be able to publish and promote, to just be relative in the environment. It's an aggregator, source of news, content, data, and business strategy, right? That's what it became. Then, after that, we create products and services that now can go into multiple places. And then if we're tracking everything, those digits should be placed in a transparent way so that an issuance of said revenue goes to everybody else. The technology for said thing is in production now. Not us. We just got to wait for who's going to win. We got to wait for the Google of blockchain. Whoever's going to be the conglomerate that takes over, somebody's going to put money in it. These rich people are going to get it. Is it Bitcoin? We don't know. Is it Ethereum? We don't know. Is it the next whatever? We don't know. Your grind ain't small. Everything that you can do right now is about scalability. How do you scale? And that's the question. Even me and my girl go through this on a consistent basis because she's working she's a chef. She works a physical labor. She has time. She has to use that time because she gets the same 24 hours as everybody else. And what I try to tell her is, hey, you can either work with this company over here that eats up not only your time, but now you have to have more staffing to now be at these locations of physical locations for more time, or you have a business where you deliver straight to home on your time and has been scaling on its own without you, or the need for heavy marketing and capitalization out of our pocket. What is better? And that's what we've been dealing with. Like, she's starting to understand that concept as her body is tired. And I understand it because I used to be her. My web development, my graphic design, like back in the day, cutting somebody out of a background to make a CD cover was a 4-hour thing. In Photoshop, you had to airbrush it out. It took hours to do that shit. Or you had to do the lasso tool and get every little corner to get it out and make sure it's clean. And you'd spend hours on that, man. It could take 8 hours to do one CD cover, and I'm making $50. Yo, that was my hustle. I used time and leveraged time to earn money. $50, and I just got my time down to 2 hours. So I would try to get a graphic done in 2 hours for a CD cover. at bare minimum. 1 hour for cutting out and 1 hour for layout. That's $25 an hour. Okay, I'll take that. Plus if I had to do any changes. So, but it's still in that window. Making my own capital, getting paid to PayPal, boom, and needing to pay my taxes. But I had to learn to scale. And if I had to work it by myself, there's no scale there. Hence, why I stopped working clientele last year when I had to take care of my mom and become basically a nurse for my mother. Then I had to hire nurses so I can get work done and pay these bills. Because as you have an aging parent, you know, we say boomer, and we're saying that there's a transition of wealth. They're not prepared. Lord knows my mom wasn't. And she taught me, but did nothing she was supposed to do because she thought she had time. Never set up an estate for herself. She's still getting paid like she's still working. When it's not, you're not supposed to be paid. When everybody says tax the rich, I just laugh because I'm like, y'all don't understand how this works. They have corporations. Their social security number gets a small stipend. Everything else gets written out underneath a trust or a corporate brand. Look at Kim Kardashian. Stop playing. You write off everything as a business. That's why you become a business. You write it off first and you pay the government what's left. And you can do that at any stage as long as you structure your stuff properly, which we're going to get into in a bit. Yes, set up your pirate ship. You must have your flag. You must have a vessel. Your vessel is your corporate structure to do commerce upon the seas, current seas, currency, current seas. These current seas, you don't sell tobacco no more. You're not selling coca. You're not selling cotton. You're not selling the herbalizations. They've licensed it to themselves now. You have to get licensed. They contracted us out of the position. They blacked us out of the commerce stream. We became black. Oh, natives. The Trail of Tears again led from the ports of the eastern seaboard to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And there you were bankers, and there you were bankers, and there you were bankers. To have a Wall Street. You invested in businesses. You found profitable usage of your capitalization because it was limited since nobody wanted to F with us. Yeah, she gets free clothes, homie. She gets free clothes. And because she put it on her butt, it sells for more. She's flipping clothes. She's a flipper. They sell books. They sell services. They sell products and services. Where are your products and services? Where are your residuals? Where are your royalties? If you have a house, it's residuals. Unless you're living in it, then put a business line in it. Map out how much room is in your apartment and or house total. Map out a room that you have a business line in. Map out the square footage of that room. Map out the square footage of your house and write off the square footage of the place that you do business in. Write it off. The business line itself too. So when you hear this $600 thing coming in, I'm just showing you how I positioned having to pay $600 because I was getting corporate clients that I had to pay 1099s for. What the f*** is the difference? You are just being treated like an independent contractor now, which you already were. What is your vibes? You are water. Every radio station is flowing through you, which is why you're hearing music. And every Wi-Fi beam is hitting your heads. Is that thought really yours? Or is the common thought bouncing off these radio waves? These micro waves. That's what 5G is and Wi-Fi is. It's micro waves running through your water. So, if somebody's watching porn down the street from my house and it kind of sinister, it might vibe down my street wrong. Yes, find the write-offs and keep it pushing. I'll get more pirate flags. They get more pirate flags. They put all of that underneath their pirate flags, and each one of their pirate flags can have its own funds, have its own 401ks, Joe, are you serious? Oh, tax the rich. The rich own nothing. They get less than $15,000. Look at all the CEOs that the only thing they do, they get I'll get $1 salary because they're going to get shares of stocks. And those stocks can be traded in their 401ks, and they ain't got to do nothing on that until after they get old. And when they pull it out, best believe that money look different. It's tax different. How many flags do you have? You start off with your basic one, your social security number, and begin to write off your businesses. Write off the software you're running. If you have subscriptions, write them off. Microsoft, write it off. Are you using Word? Write it off. What is your business name? I like a media company. I like being taxed as a media company because a lot of my services fall on a lot of different subscriptions. A lot of magazines can fall underneath there for research and development. All legal-like. Because it's there for you. And get off the grid. There is no get off the grid. They take tribal people out of Africa, out of the forest, and they now sing for their dinner. They have to do what we're doing now. Because resources are getting churned and burned. So nothing is safe, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna get off no grid. The grid is a network that's being put into the sky above your head. There is no place to hide from digitization because we already know we already know the vibes. The basic instructions before leaving Earth already told you ain't nobody gonna get out the grid. Give unto Rome what is Rome. Give unto Caesar what's Caesar's. But getting off the grid, nah, that don't work. Ask the Aborigines. Ask our native tribes. Still got to go through legal-ish for every damn thing. That wasn't what I was trying to say. Oh, my bad. No, but still, like, some people might think like, oh, you can get off the grid. Like, there's no grid. There's no grid to get off of. The only thing we can get off of is the analog revenue stream. Physical businesses, physical representations of businesses, physical structures of businesses. If I have a clothing line, I'm not trying to go into a physical store, have a physical runway for you to see my wares. You soon will wear augmented glasses and just put on the clothes and wear them on your physical body, then put them on your in the digital avatar, and you'll get, if you really like the clothes, you'll mint them. Because people holding digital and holding rights to transactions on the ledgers is how they will do their capitalization. I will hold my capitalization, i.e. Ether 2.0. I will stake and be part of the network, and I want to own network power to gain more stake, to have enough network power that I can manufacture on my own products, and said products that I manufacture can now be the revenue I cash out of, or put 20% into more investments and earn more. This is the hustles we've got to figure out, y'all. I've been doing this for years. I've felt innately what it feels like to feel at December of 2015. I told my now fiance, I don't think they need me anymore at my job. And this was the startup. I said, they can get anybody they want. I feel like I'm going to lose my job this year. And sure enough, sure as shit, they fired me. They laid me off. They're like, yo, we don't need anybody anymore. We're actually cutting this part of our business, because they were getting clientele who was still paying for hundreds of thousands of dollars of their contract, but they forgot they had the contract and still had to buy because they were still under the contract and hadn't gotten rid of it. And that was the year prior. And I was like, yo, next year they're going to cancel that contract and there's my salary. We're going to get to plunge protection. I promise you. We're going to get to plunge protection. Or did I do plunge protection team? I did do plunge protection team. Plunge protection is the Fed printing money to bump up the market. Look at yesterday's stocks and you'll see it immediately. That is plunge protection. Right now, I need to look at, in fact, we'll look at the market and see if plunge protection is doing it again. Let's see if they're in plunge protection mode right now. Let's look at the Russell. And double click this. And let me look what's going on with the market right now. And put it on the daily. No plunge protection today, but you can see it here. We were all the way down here. Then all of a sudden the market turned around immediately and viscerally turned around, and there was no news. Nothing changed. Your bank account was still empty like my bank account was still empty. All these bank accounts were still low. Margin was still high. The economy hasn't changed. The Fed's still at the lowest interest rate, so they can't push it no more further to lower this down. Interest rates are still swelling. The gas is still what it is and raising. As far as fuel costs for shipping of goods is getting more expensive, not getting cheaper. So nothing has changed. Why all of a sudden we popped up? That's the Fed printing into when the here, I'll show you what it is. This is what it means. Cancel. Boom, 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 boom. Under economic data. Total assets. This is the Fed go burr. Boop. See, hold on. Let's zoom it in so you can kind of see what they're doing right now. This is Fred go burr. When it said, no, Fed don't go burr. There's no such thing as Fed go burr. Bow. So look at this. Incremental, buy. Keeping the market up. Keeping this market up. Now they're saying by March, what are they going to do? We're going to see this roll off and start going back down. When they do that, let's go back. Let's go back in time. Let's go back, way back in time. If it lets me. Let's go back. You see. And I think I might have to zoom all the way into this mug. Hold on. Hold up. Bow. 2008. Boom, 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 boom. No, they were still going. Then the financial crisis happened. Yeah, so they were still going. Oh, wait. No. Here it is. So, oh, no. No, it's not on this side. But anyway, because this is interest rates. I have to actually look at interest rate changing. But anyway, my thing is that right now, they are still buying, and it's flatline. Well, not yet. Hold on. Go back. Bow. And then come back. Scroll over. Come back. I hate these little web things when they don't really get you right. There we are. So as we're going up, we're supposed to roll over by March. It's supposed to come back down. And as it comes back down, they're no longer buying any of the assets. And in the future, they want to sell off assets. But right now, they got to buy assets. So the protection team comes in and all of a sudden just comes in and stops the hemorrhaging. Now, yesterday, when I was getting ready to I'll come online and do my show later in the afternoon, well, this was happening. And I was like, well, what the hell's going on? And then, of course, I found out from what I call MG the Future's doppelganger. Boom. Right here. This is Mike, Rethinking the Dollar. And he talks about what's been going on. He's a gold silver bug. So I know that he's always talking about gold and silver and making sure that you have hard assets. Again, somebody else out here trying to tell us what we need to do. As the feds across the globe and the countries across the globe are starting to put gold back into their coffers. So I would hold it as assets, no different than Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy is buying Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin. Well, I'd be buying some crypto on the bounce because you can put it as hard assets and you can get loans against that. You can get you can get trade loans against that. So you can hold the Bitcoin and get loans. But I don't want loans right now. Not for anything in importance. I think right now you focus on earning. What is your residuals? What is your royalties? What is your subscriptions? What is your products and services? Products and services to get you through your day-to-day. Subscriptions, you build them slowly to help you over time, to scale out time for you, to carve out more time for your life. They want us on empty. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. They want us empty. I don't even want a flashlight. True. Real talk. Right? All right. So the level the playing field for scalability, right? As we're talking about scalability, we're talking about media. We talk about media as the next thing, like as far as there is nothing else that you have. You're not, unless you're coming up with the newest hardware, unless you're writing some crazy software that's going to revolutionize something, unless you're digging up some new element or you're coming up with some new swaggy something. Right now, the only asset class you can actually manufacture on your own time is media, right? Yeah, Photoshop, you can make graphics. You can do website design. You can do PowerPoint presentations for clients. You can do services. You can sell products. Yeah, it's a simulation. I mean, it's bits, atoms. You touch a wall, you break off a piece of that wall. You look at the dust of that wall, there's nothing more than light. Atoms. And then let's not even deal with quarks and the fact that it's 1, 0, and a question mark. Like ones and zeros is our physical universe, yes or no. But then in the quantum world, it's yes, no, and or else. Question mark. Whatever. So it's more options in the programmable quantum verse. We're dealing with pixels or our atoms. We're not even dealing with quantum dots yet. And whether or not a thing is there or not there. So creativity is right now the only asset we hold. And they've been stifling that because they've been putting you in fear mode. And the only thing you're fearing is whether or not you have an ability to earn. Why is that even questioned? When our grandmothers, like my grandmother, she would sell Fanta. My mom worked multiple jobs. I realized I had 24 hours a day. I worked at a job from 7 in the morning, 9 to 5, but you got to still commute. So you got to get up early, right? So 7 in the morning till I get home at damn near 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. So 12 hours of my day I've given up. You've lost 12 hours. Are you serious? To what? Commute to a computer? That's dumb. And I said that years ago. Well, here we are. The world finally pivoted to what I said was dumb years ago. So now, you don't have to commute to that computer. You can just work from said computer. You can now make the assets from said computer on your own, doing the same thing you were doing for those companies. All of the companies, as I told my friends, are emptying out. Years ago, they've been emptying out, starting their own businesses, doing their own thing. Y'all, Shark Tank has been around for how long? They've been training you. Come up with a pitch. Understand that it's 5 times earnings. They've been warning you for years. They've been training your kids to be able to pitch technology and business ideas to wealthy patrons. Isn't there a website called Patreon now? Isn't that how the arts was always frickin' financed? You see how digital don't frickin' change nothing? Now patrons can be anybody to patronize you. I'm using my phone to make art that I will sell online. Bro, let's go one step different. Remember MTV Music Generator and how MTV, the Sony PlayStation or whatever it was on, changed how production was for a lot of kids? Well, FL Studio stop playing. Y'all, stop playing. It's already here. How many kids are going to be making beats here and selling them for cheaper? That's what I'm saying. The entry level is gone. So entry, exit ports. I always talk about that, right? Your entry, if you're broke, is the learning of skill sets that you can now receive commerce to exit the port with commerce, which would be your debit card at this point, because you don't travel back on a boat back to your homeland to feed your family. You just swipe a card. Bro, my first beat tape was on for FL Studio Mobile. Bro, back when Ninth Wonder was doing that stuff for Jay-Z, back when I was in Macon, back before 2008, and FL Studio had put the recording option in, my first album for my child, all of it was recorded on FL Studio. The mixing, the beats, the mastering, everything was in FL Studio. This is going to be crazy. So now the entry point for how we get in here and the exit point and how we get paid is a swipe. You will not be able to buy nor sell without a digital signature connected to a computer, interacting with an internet. We already went all over that in the other videos. Go back, you'll see them if you're new. So as everybody can now manufacture things, you know what's missing? And I realized it when I was trying to sell beats to everybody. It's oversaturated. Everybody's trying to sell a beat. And what you're trying to do is do what? Get a placement. Okay, place it. You now get paid royalties for your stuff being visible. Now, pirate yourself. Get yourself into as many places, ticking time bombs, little landmines. Upload it to your provider, then dump it on the world. I'm going to be flooding some course called Beatbox to Beats. Basically, my workflow of studying what I want to do with beatboxing, how I'm going to use this software, which y'all can go ahead and do this on your own. You ain't got to wait for. I'm not going to pay for. It's not like a paid course or some shit. I'm just going to show you how I do my workflow, right? And that it's going to be, what is the name of that stuff? It is Doubler. As I always show y'all, I show you the truth. I show the truth. I show the truth. This is what I'm gonna use. And then I can. Even hi-hat. You can do all of that in this software using a microphone. I don't need a chip in my head. I just need the software to interact with me. So I can get the orchestra in my head out the frick of my head before I lose creativity of the song to my fingers that can't play on an instrument. Because the minute I touch an instrument, all of a sudden the swag of my song goes bye-bye. So as I get everything out and I start, when I say use it, you create a channel for something that's dope, that's trending, that'll be around for a while, that you like. Do something you like. Like I like anime, so I'll just make a whole bunch of anime trailers of shit I'm going to be watching anyway. Put my music in it, but I've already uploaded CD, baby. So then this way, if it plays on my channel or any other channel, or if they find my beat and they want to use it, I will even give them the links to where it's available. The only thing I'm actually thinking about licensing, y'all, I'm going to give this one too, is I'm actually honestly thinking about how do we use NFTs to license songs with hooks. So like I do hooks. I do a lot of dope hooks. Spotify, Tragic. I got some dope hooks. It's one of my things. I'm like the Nate Dogg of my crew. Always doing something, right? So my thing is, all of y'all are freaking labels now. All of y'all are media companies. All of y'all got to figure out how to put your media out and earn your royalties. Your royalties, once you upload them, like I did here, this is the research I did. I put this one out. This is all the songs this is some of the songs I have on my BeatStars page, which is tragic.com. I took some of those and just threw them out in the wilderness. Now, what I'll do is I'll either not put this underneath my name so I don't just do that, or I could just keep it under my name. I don't know. Or I can just create a channel specifically for more instrumentals and just flood that channel with that and maybe niche it out. That I become a niche and keyword it and do all the things I need to do with it and do it underneath ToxicHustle. Now that would be another thing. But again, then ToxicHustle can get the royalties. I can work with multiple producers and we can all get paid, right? Or you can do it yourself. Like the same thing as every label, right? I do a song with you. You do a song with me. We both put it on both of our albums and earn our own royalties independently. Ain't that what they always do? What's different? Not a damn thing. The business of music's in my pocket. The industry of music, the music industry is literally in your pocket. So now, how much of a percentage of $1 trillion industry do you own? It's just numbers. Flood the world. Get your money, little duffel bag boy. Little duffel bag boy. Get your bunny, little duffel bag boy. Bunny, little duffel bag boy. You know what I mean? That's the vibe. Catch your vibes, y'all. All right, let's go back into my notes and see where we are. All right, so commerce. Let's deal with the next thing. Is this? Where are you? Where is you in the cash flow quadrant? Right? SB. What you SB? What you talking about, Jared? Tragic. What you talking about, man? What you SB? SUS or SUB? See, if you S, you work, you don't get no real good money. Well, if you're an employee or self-employed, you're relying on just your labor to make money, whether you're working for somebody else or whether you're working for yourself. And at this point, you got 30% tax on this side as well, right? Then you take this side and you either become this to become this, or you become this to become this. But you can always become this as well. Ease can be investors and not have to be a business owner. Well, I've been all of them, bro. When I was at Citibank, I showed them the work I was doing for the company that I was, the company I had, my .com, which I used as my portfolio to get through the door, which was a company that I was using to get actual physical clients, and I'd put it on that site. Like I told you, I eat my own dog food. The same, I'm telling you what I use to survive, right? So then I got my job, right? So I was self-employed for a while, created a portfolio that got me to be an employee, right? That then allowed me to take this revenue and pay for my bills. I gave him my 12 hours a day, and then I had the rest of my evening to be this. Now, using this, I learned to be this, a business owner, and realized I needed to handle scale, but I needed to become this first so that I could have capital to get more into this and get hard assets. So I took my employee revenue to pad out my bills. I took my self-employed to go against inflation, to able to get extra revenue to go into investments and even software. Like investing in things doesn't mean you invest in stocks. I can invest in a piece of software like Microsoft Power Automate is like $40 a month. I'm investing in that, but at the same time, I can write it off in my taxes as a subscription fee for business usage for what I use for my robots. And when I do client work and they happen to be on a Microsoft platform, and I can automate their back end. Tragic, you're doing a great job here. Appreciate that, RTP. Then you were at an S, got you back to E, and you head to B, and that you were post-pandemic. Right now, with what we're doing, I'm not going to be this because that might involve a pope. So I have to be this unless I get remote. That's why my title changed to Chief Strategy Officer. Because if you want me in an office, you're going to pay me like I weigh. And I weigh about 100K at this point because I could do it on my own. Right? I can do 60 on my own. How? I need a subscription product that is about $5. I need 1,000 people to buy said product. That'll net me around $5,000 a month. You multiply that by 12 months in a year, you have 60 grand. I now have my salary when I was a Photoshop guy / web developer guy. Bang. So if you want me around to deal with your meetings and all the dumb shit that goes with the politics of being in a building, you're going to pay me like a way because I can do 60 by myself. Your extra 40, the stress ain't worth it. So you're going to really have to be over 100K. Should be no, because you may need to be an employee, bro. If it was not for me being an employee, I would never be able to be any of these because you lock it. Where's your capital coming from? You can't start a business by yourself without cash flow up front. You can't invest anything without cash flow. And unless you're self-employed using your hours by yourself, you now have to beat your bills and inflation and invest. Leverage is the strength that moves mountains. Leverage is what's going to move a boulder with a stick and a whole bunch of people. Leverage. So I used this leverage. I went to Citibank, gave me capitalization. By using Photoshop and Dreamweaver, I got a web designer job that gave me a title that I can now use. I can say I've been in Citibank. Now that changes the polarity around when my resume shows up over everybody else. Oh, he was at Citibank. Oh, he was at First Data. It's a club, y'all. It's just like saying you're I'm a Mason. No, I'm a Fortune 500 head. I can throw these titles around because I've been there. Right? So I'm going to leverage employment, even if it's remote, y'all. I'm going to leverage employment, give me my cash flow, pay my bills. That covers my rent, right? Because they got to at least get you there. I gave up 12 hours if I got to commute. Right now, that's going to be lessened because now I don't have to commute, right? So if I get a remote job that I can do all my digital work, I make sure I have a broadband connection, a business connection I can write off that ain't going to die out. And then also why I say broadband. Here is a problem with commercial bandwidth. You're going to realize when you start running too much bandwidth by uploading videos and all that stuff, getting into this media side of things, is that they cap you. And if you go over cap, they charge you just like they used to for your telephone. Ooh, it's not all you can eat. It ain't unlimited, y'all. Data is data. unless you get a business line. It's about $100, but you write it off. So if it's $119 a month, which is typically Spectrum Business Internet, it's about $100 and something a month. Don't get the TV package and all that stupid ish, right? Because you got Naps, you got Hulu and all that other stuff you can do on your own. So you got your revenue coming in, you pay for your subscriptions online, and you write the taxes off of all the subscriptions you're using. So if you got Photoshop, that's $19 a month. That's 19 times 12. You write it off in April. Leverage the employment. And this is the easy one. The reason why this is good is because this, being an E, is your leverage point to get your skills off, to pivot into taking what you want to do in your spare time, in your off hours, and scaling it for other things. I used to go to jobs where I was just doing my graphic design. So I would have my entire portfolio with Photoshop work and website work, where I had all this dope hip hop looking stuff and you know, of course, the stuff in Second Life and all this real cool stuff I could do. And my boss looked at me, he's like, you know, here, it's not going to be as creative. Is that going to be a problem? I was like, no, I still have the company. I still work for the company in the evening because, of course, I was working for the company. Here's a hustle. Have a friend that you work with. Partner with that friend. Partner as a business. Now, you do work for your friend. He does some work for you. Now, when it comes time to get a job, he's the CEO. You just have to tell on your resume the work you did for them. You don't have to lie. So you create a business site, a .com. You create that real estate. Y'all build a little something together. You have that stuff. You build all your other stuff on top of it. And then when it comes time to put your resume out and they have to call some CEO to deal with it, your friend is going to tell the truth. Yes, he designed this website for me. He did this for me. He did that for me. I did that for my friend all the time. What up, Ty? Every time he had a business idea, I developed the website. I took screenshots of it and I put it on my portfolio. And then when it came time for jobs, my job said, hey, we want to talk to this company. All right. Yo, Ty, you're going to get a phone call today, bro. And all I did was tell them what I was doing. You never lie. If you don't know something, don't say you do. If you don't have the skill set, don't say you have it. I know my ish by the time I get in there. And shortcuts. Control S. Control P is print. Control S is save. Control Shift S is save as. Learn your shortcuts. If you're in Photoshop, what does the T tool do? It's the text. What is the V tool? That's the move tool. What is the M tool? It's the marquee tool. Right? These are the things you've got to quickly be able to jump in. If I'm in Dreamweaver, how do I pull this menu out? How do I do that? What shortcuts are there for them? Keystrokes. Then all of a sudden they just look at you doing all these crazy things with your fingers, doing all types of twisty things with your fingers, like Snoop Dogg says. Oh no, that was things ain't the same for gangsters. Doing all types of twisted shit with their fingers. So when you get your job, now you have the skills. They see you doing all that stuff. They're like, oh, he knows his shit. You get the job done faster because you're not clicking a mouse. They see that you're efficient. And all I did was watch videos teaching me the insides of the software, y'all. That's the hack. It's all about software titles. Data analysis. There's software for data analysis. Google has software, Power BI. Or no, that's Microsoft. Microsoft has Power BI. And then, well, who has Power BI? I think that's Microsoft has Power BI. Power BI. Business intelligence. Yep, Microsoft has Power BI. And Google has their own thing. So even creating charts and dashboards, y'all, we're going into a dashboard world where you're going to have to create these things. That's kind of what I'm doing inside that other software. I didn't want to pay Microsoft a whole bunch of shit to do this. And I can do that inside Builder because they have a Google chart plugin that goes inside. They have a module that goes with Google plugin, so you can actually it's called component. So they have a Google component you can use, so now I can put all these charts inside my thing just from my data that I grab. Y'all stop playing. I can build my own dashboards. And that's what we're getting into. You got to build your own business logic. What are you doing in business? Not all businesses are going to be one-to-ones. Your media ain't my media. Where I'm talking may not be where you want to talk. Y'all are all going to have to find your own ways. And some of those will be SoundCloud. Some of y'all will be SoundCloud performers. Some of y'all are going to have, y'all be streaming in multiverses. Some of y'all are going to be being DJs or doing shows inside some type of augmented concert. I don't know. I just know it ain't going to be analog. You ain't getting no shows in no clubs no time soon. You ain't going to be building or buying trailers. Look, hey, perfect example is look what happened to what's her face? Hello. What's her name? Oh, Adele. I thought I spelled her wrong. There it is. Right? In the news, because she's got to postpone because she can't get her it's hard to do analog. And this is Adele. She didn't use unionized workers, again, gig economy, and it didn't pan out. This is not just you. All of them in this physical situation are having issues. But I can tell you who didn't have an issue. $20 million for Fortnite. Yes, build your own dashboard. Like I'll know what my sales are. I'll know what songs I should push. What songs are getting some visibility on TikTok? I may not get enough streams, but TikTok can give me some data as to what's cycling. And maybe I can use that data to see what I want to pirate out on my own content more. Where do I need to push it? Oh, this is pushing on Spotify. Let me make sure I get it on YouTube and Facebook. Because TikTok seems to be the first line of a breakout track, and you might need to give it a little bit more push. And it wasn't just him. Again, Ariana Grande, Fortnite, digital concerts, y'all. Like, they're letting you know. And this is just like us seeing Hype Williams get $1 million for a freaking music video. By the time we get in, it won't be this price no more because the entry to getting into all this is going to come way, way down. So don't get gas, just know, but the money's there. And know where people who are following you and interacting. Yeah. My thing is, I want to know where eyeballs are. I believe that you can scrape the world at this point. You can scrape everything with scraping engines. Put that data into a database, throw a graph database on that to do algorithmic consensus on the data, take that data, export it out, put it back into your system, and then utilize that data on your website as a personalization utility for your users. Google, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, all of them are doing the same thing. That technology is now in our hands. Because you can go to GitHub and get any one of these codes for free. For a free. GitHub. Where the world builds software, right? Then I get machine learning algo. Oh, I am MACHINELEARNING. Of course, I'm not going to get that. Bye, yow. Machine learning. So now I can get all these scripts and I can show, all right, you know what? I want it to be JavaScript because I want to use that in something else. And there's an algorithm explorer. Here's some algorithms and machine learning. All right, so I got some analysis, some augmenting data structures, some B trees, some benchmarks, hash tables. I know I can use them for something. I've heard that before. So they're all here. Or at least there's things I can review to go to YouTube to now have more things to study. Facebook, you can't do that. As far as being able to scrape and follow, that don't work. Their algorithms banned that years ago. And you can't do that because it would interact negatively. Oh, and their algorithm knows. Like literally, I tell you, I had robots. I had robots in Facebook promoting everywhere. And soon they caught on to all said robots and banned my account, or at least banned me from posting. So I had to wait now for a few months for my ban to come off. And then I had to show them via APIs that I'm doing it right now and I'm doing it for the right reasons so that I can get my marketing account back online so that I can actually pay for advertising to be able to sell products again. So you can do all that, but you end up hurting your business more. It just makes better sense not to use the robots that way, but to use the robots just to post content, not really to post it everywhere, unless it's slight stuff. So like one post a week to go into a group of some kind. Yes, termination. You are terminated. Yes. And that's the thing. These are not our businesses, y'all. I used to do the whole Amazon shipping thing. And then I realized that I found some dope shit and I was getting it out. I was getting sales. I was making at least like $5 to $10 profit margin on top of everything. And then Amazon came in, did the same damn thing, undercut me and smashed all my damn profit because Amazon was not my business. PayPal didn't like some shit I was doing earlier before cryptocurrencies, right? When they had something called e-gold and they had high yield investment programs. They didn't like the fact that I was making money with that shit, so they stopped my PayPal account. Again, it's not my account, and if you don't like what you're doing, they stop you. And PayPal has stopped me multiple times. Again, why I don't really like using PayPal as much is because they've frozen my business when I make new business deals on new technology that they may or may not like. So again, that's why I didn't build a business, because I couldn't trust the infrastructure. Amazon for servers, they keep crashing. They're, and can get hacked because you've got to build it yourself, and you've got to better be a good server administrator for that crap. Then you get it out and you got to pray that the software, at the time WordPress, you have to keep it patched. So I had to make sure there was a robot on my WordPress to keep it updated so that the hackers didn't hack it. And again, that's a service you can offer your clients. And then after all of that, you have to pray that the PayPal gods don't get mad at you and freeze your account, that you now have to call them and get your account turned back on and mail your IDs and all that stuff to get validated. And now you've lost 2 to 3 hours, if not maybe sometime a day or two, with your account being frozen. Which is why I like crypto. Like, y'all don't get it. My banks, during the major recession in 2005 when I left Citibank shut off my account. When interest rates are starting up and, holding money at a bank is a liability, y'all. So when they have money in their account, it's a liability on their books. And they don't like liabilities. They'd rather just get rid of the accounts. So if you didn't back then hold a minimum of $500 in your account, which when you're broke and you need that to eat, you can't do. Well, if you do that X amount of quarters, they just close your account. Now you ain't got no bank account. Now what you supposed to do? PayPal saved my ass because I had a debit card. With that business debit card, I could use a business debit card, call the company when I needed to call it, and make money off of it. Back then, it was called Soulphonics. And did all my production work and all my graphic work on that, and that's how I got my clientele in real life. So you need a exit port, right? If you have a ship and your ship is dry docked and it can't get out of port, it means you can't go home to spend your money back on your own land with your own family, right? You're trapped in dry dock. You have to exit the port to go home to spend your money. If you spend the money at the port, you pretty much can't go home. The thing is, crypto is early. You're like at internet 1995 right now. Banks are just getting in. Venture capital is just getting in. And the technology keeps crashing. Like Solana. I love Solana. All summer, we're going to blast and kick everybody's ass. Solana. Down. Again. I think it was 48 hours. There it is, 1 day ago. Suffers yet another network outage. Imagine. And here's the ramifications. A network hiccup. They were shut down for 48 hours. Imagine Bitcoin shut down for 48 hours, y'all. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but again, this proves the tech. That proves decentralization. You just can't turn it off. You know what I'm saying? So at any time, if somebody's pissed off at Solana, could a government come in here and just turn it off? I'll put some money on there, but it ain't going to get like, if we got 20% of your investments should be in the markets. And that includes this one. So if 20% of my position, let's see if I go half and half, and I take 10% of my gross revenue and I put it in the stock market. Then I take another 10% of my gross revenue and I put it in the crypto market. Though it's going to be more than that because I'm going to be doing more business in a crypto market, treating it more like cash flow currency. Again, what people don't get is that if you receive cryptocurrency in the service, product, all the things we do on PayPal, it's treated as cash, y'all. It's not treated as capital gains. So I can receive it as cash and I can do my thing. Hey, I bought a robot software subscription with my revenue in crypto, with my earnings, hence allowing me to write off said stuff on my business account, aligning crypto to my pirate flag, right? My corporation logo, i.e. CryptoPlunder. For now. But 24 hours it was down. And what happened was, y'all, is that people got their ass handed to them. Like it being down, DeFi users got massive calls. Yeah, they can shut it down. And they did it last summer, y'all. And that was my red flag. When I saw that, I was like, wait. Y'all shut this down? Then how can you be decentralized? Like, what if I had a machine? You mean to tell me my machine was off? So wait. How are we decentralized if you can shut off my machine remotely? Okay, then this ain't decentralized. I got it. You're like the internet computer. I got it. You're corporation internet. That's no different than internet, intranet. Guess who won the war? The intranet was the internal ones that all corporations had, corporations that had internal networks for you being in a building and that everybody's home now, so the internet don't matter anymore because now you're traveling over the internet to do it, or using a virtual private network but still connecting to the internet to get into your intranet. But Bitcoin's still running. It keeps running. Right? Still running. So, no bueno. No es bueno. That is what we have to understand. This es no es bueno. So, with your time, you've got to be careful what you invest in, what network's going to be running, your cash flow is going to be running. All of those things you got to keep at the forefront of a technology that right now still ain't ready. And that's fine. We wait. It means we're early. Buy low, sell high. I bought Solana low. I sold that shit off December. If it acts right, which I still don't like the whole 48, it ain't acting right for me. This shit here, this here, this here, there, this here, there, man, this here, this here, man. I don't like this. This don't work as a company. This doesn't sound just like PayPal to me. And the reason why I'm leaving PayPal is I want to know that my wallet can't be shut down. So I make a private wallet that you can't shut down off of my private wallet so that I have the keys. I control those keys. And now you can't stop the deposit to my keys. My keys, my keys. So, time over revenue, scalability. Your time matters. If you use the time that you have, I don't watch TV at night. I stop watching TV at night. People don't get, they come home, and I get you're tired. I came home after leaving my house at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work, to commute all the way to Long Island, to go to a place that wouldn't give me a raise for generating millions of dollars for them. I was very despondent about that. And then after all that, y'all just keep adding more to my plate. I keep providing, and I can't even get one iota of any cash flow, positive, anything out of it. I just get, oh, we're going to promote you next year. Oh, we're going to promote you next year. And then you put people over me. That should be like I'm one person in a unit, and you're going to put a manager over me. I was done after that. I was like, this is disrespectful. I do more for this company. I make more money for this company, and you're going to put somebody over me? I'm out, homie. I told my boss, no disrespect, Jim. Love you, man. Still talk to my boss to this day. But I told him, I was like, yo, he's like, I'm going to give you a promotion. I was like, you know what, man, keep the promotion. Give it to the new kid. I'm going to go to Georgia. I'm out. I'm taking my talents to the South. Like, if New York ain't going to pay me like I weigh, like, yo, I was paying a rent in Bayside, Queens. Yo, that's near Long Island. I was paying high rent, and that's kept going up. And then I don't have a car. And now you're telling me I got to take the Long Island Railroad, which costs a lot of money, then to take a bus, then to take a cab to get to work if somebody didn't drive me. And then if I was going to get a car, because I wasn't driving back then it was going to cost me like $4,000, $5,000 a month for the car. Then I still got to buy gas. And my rent kept going up. And you ain't giving me no raise. It was a Japanese company. I was working at Canon, and you know, Japanese men, you got to be like 80 before you get a raise. So I knew the signs. I was like, yo, I'm in a Japanese company. I've lived in Japan. I know the vibes. These guys drink and stay at work all night with their bosses. And they will drink with their bosses till 2 a.m. They are in town and they go home on the weekend to see their families. They will sleep in little compartments, little coffins during the day. In town, down the street from their work to get their sleeping because they're going to be up all night with their boss. China's been doing it too. That's why I say the trade-off for your time, you've got to be time wary. 12 hours seems to be going to these jobs, right? And then when I'd come home by 7 o'clock, I start my work for me. Thankfully, I get home probably around, if we could leave early. I used to go to work early so that I could be out of the building at 5 o'clock. I would come an hour early so I could look at my boss and say, I'm here before you. I am out the door at 5 o'clock. He was like, okay. So we could hop on the highway and get back home. So we didn't have as much traffic. We just had Long Island traffic going back home. If you get out of there early enough, you've cut out an hour of your time. So I used to get home sometimes if I had the right ride. I'd be home typically around, let's say if we got out the door at 5:30, I'd be home around like 6:15, 6:20. I go to the bar, get me a little drink. I get back home probably by like 8 something, goes around the corner. I'd get on my computer about 8 o'clock. I'd work till around 11 o'clock, sometimes 12 o'clock, working on stuff on my own or studying or learning, then get up in the morning and do it all over again. We all have the same 24 hours of a day. What do you do with your other hours? How much luxury time do you give yourself? The only time I watch anime now is at night to put me to sleep, because regular cartoons suck ass, especially the mind state of Americana, which is not the same as the mind state of manga and anime. So when I left New York again for the second time, came back here. This is after Canon, and like I said, they weren't paying me. They're using my software. I came back down here. I got to First Data, again, another major corporation based off of my portfolio that looked like a corporation. And that, again, got me another name of a Fortune 500 company on my belt. Again, you just use Indeed, get yourself a temp agent. The temp agency will contact you, and you'll get your interview. And if you work, if the position is right, you go from temp to full time, and now boom, your personnel. That's your hack to get in, is the temp agencies. They want their commission, see, so they'll push you. But when I came down here and then got my next job after First Data, I finally got a job, and that was the web development job for the startup. And then the venture capital money started drying up. And then 2016, I get laid off. And now I'm on Fiverr trying to do a Fiverr job, working things at $5 damn. Do you know how dehumanizing and how emasculating it feels to go from $60,000 to making $10 a month? This gig economy is gut-wrenching. You become a third world citizen again, man. You are an immigrant. This is the new fields. That's why you need scalability. You need your own cotton gin, right? You don't go out and pull the stuff. You make a machine that gets it for you, and then you tell Master kiss my ass. Right? That's what we do. And what I learned from that was venture capital money. And that's how I got into the venture capital business. But because my director, who worked at that company, saw how good I was, heard my complaints about the business, understood I knew what I was talking about, and said, I want you to work with me over here when I get this project. I got a guy that's a millionaire, and we're going to work some projects. I'm going to help him buy assets. And I would help them do their PowerPoint presentations and all the stuff that they can do for that company to get more revenue, because that's what they're doing. They're building up, they put money in, they help build these companies up to get more funding. I, last year, cut that out of working with him. I told him I cut out customers and clients because this year I need to figure out how to make my own money. I cannot be reliant, because I understood the economy was getting kind of weird, and I felt the same shit I felt in 2006 again. Hey, this economy's tightening up. Hey, banks are letting people go. Hey, that's what happened when, oh. And working for this firm and getting revenue, I got paid 1099s. If you make over $600, you get a 1099 form from the corporation. They need your social security number, you fill the information out, and then you get, boom. I think it's a W-9, and it gives you a 1099. So instead of a W-2 that you fill out when you get a job, you get a W-9, and the W-9 turns into 1099, if I'm not mistaken. And you pay your taxes, right? You have to. So what they've done is your ports have all now virtualized that experience, where everybody is now a corporate client. All of you are now corporate clients because you're all now underneath the $600 protocol. So while a lot of people are pissed off about this, I get the anger, but they've been tracking every single transaction you've been doing since elementary school for me. It was called the library. It was called the library card. Then in my mother's time, again, before me, She got a credit card, and then all those things she swiped was logged. Then she had a card for the bus, right? And then you swipe the card, so now they know where you're going. This is all in New York. Then when you get into a building, you get a card, and you got to swipe that card. So I know you're in and out of the building. So you're tracked, and then you have a phone in your pocket, so you got GPS. So now you're tracked door to door. What don't we get about the fact that there's no privacy? When did you have it? No cap. When did we actually have that privacy? I'm waiting. I mean, your browser, unless you actually are using a VPN, everything you do online is traced through your ISP. So Comcast knows what you're doing. Time Warner knows what you're doing. Verizon knows what you're doing. T-Mobile knows what you're doing and who you're talking to and what's being said in every message. So I ask again, where is the privacy you talk about? Because I can't find one place I have privacy. Unless it's VPN'd out. And even then, you have to rely on that VPN being private and not being hacked. You make sure my lady ain't talking to me. Okay, no, she's not. Okay, so these 1099 rules, not a big thing. As I told you, stack your write-offs at this point. Stack every single write-off that belongs to you. Now, how do we make this simplistic a bit? Because, I mean, you're an independent person now. You're a self-employed person. You got the 600 thing on your ass. Welcome to the programmable universe. You've got to program everything around you. You have to get what you need, but you have to visualize exactly what your outcomes are. And at this point, you have to kind of see, like, you can take any analog business model and it is now digitized. You can digitize it. For example, if I wanted to be in the movie industry, right? I could get my phones out, get a bunch of my friends to have phones, make sure all my friends have some type of skill, and we could create some type of show with all of our phones. Do everything inside these editors that are free, or you can pay for them, get everything looking great, and then put that online and have the show that releases. And then once you get 1,000 people and X amount of views, you can get advertising. And then you could do sponsorships, you can get products through Printify and all these other places, and you can build out your media company. Now, your shows and your web seasons can have series, your web series can have seasons, so season 1, season 2. And if somebody wants to pick you up, they'll ask for you to be on another platform and they'll give you revenue. Hulu, Netflix type beats. Will that be on the blockchain? Probably so. Who's going to be the Hulu, Netflix of blockchain? That's all I'm waiting on. See, everything's going to have to be on a ledger. I'm just waiting for the ledger to be fast enough because it's slow as dog shit right now. It's slower than an old dog trying to take a shit with hemorrhoids. Real tizzle. So you're going to have to program your business at this point because there's no physical program. You have to have humans and all that other stuff to make a business physically. You got to get a space, rent a space, pay for that space. You can do all of that online for a little bit of money. It's called a .com and a hosting site. You can get it on Amazon for $5 or $10. $10 if you really want it stable. Put a WordPress site up, boom, you have a site. Can't get 1 million people on there because they'll crash. But you can get a couple hundred and work just fine. You can even get up to 1,000 and work just fine. You can have a business, especially if it's service-based and you're only going to get like 1 or 2 people a day that shows up on the site that might see you on social media. And then your goal then is what? You have a web page. You need to build content to get people to come to said web page. So you're going to need to use social media to broadcast your ideals for them to visit, i.e., you're going to have to market. Bing, bing, bing. You are a media company. That means utilization of your assets, your music assets and your media assets. How do you use them on all the social networks? Where is your long format content stored? And how much does that long form content make for you? The reason why I call it programmable universe is because if you've ever been a military kid or if you've been a person that's moved around a lot, you realize something. If there's things about you or about what you thought was not cool in other people that you didn't want to do, but you might have been awkward at one location, and then you realize you can't be awkward anymore, and you just gotta, like, you're always gonna make new friends. So you're just gonna have to just be you. But part of you can edit out. You can kind of re-edit. The things you didn't like, you go to a new place, nobody knows those things are in you. You switch it up. You get rid of the things you don't like. You add on the things that you revere, and you change who you are. You get that option. Sometimes you can't do that with the people that know you. Your family, your friends, they don't want to see change in you. And that's with all things. And that's why bad boys move in silence. I work online. Now I can talk my ish right now and tell all of y'all, because at this point, as I tell my girl, it don't matter if none of y'all do this. I tell y'all what I'm doing. I'm still doing it. I've even told businesses. There was one time I told, I got paid by Pandora. They had one of those things. They sent an email saying if you give them some information, you could win a $50 or $100 coupon or whatever, Amazon gift card. So I wrote a whole bunch of shit about how Snapsters was going to eat their dinner. Basically, I did it as an analyst. And then they called me. And then I had to talk with them, and I told them, I was like, your business is going to get destroyed by Spotify. Spotify is going to eat your lunch because you have nothing for the artist. You really don't have nothing for an artist. And they have to do so much to get on your platform, because back then you had to like mail in a CD or some ish, or you have to do extra shit. Like, yeah, you have to mail in a CD, I think, to an address to get your music on their platform. And I'm like, yo, I just upload it one place and it goes there. I could just upload MP3s. I don't even need WAV files. It doesn't get lost in the mail. Y'all, they're going to destroy you. Well, I got my $100 and it panned out. They didn't get shut down, but they ain't what they were at the time. What they were. Spotify's ate their dinner. Spotify got bigger. Spotify's now I said, like, yo, Spotify's about to be Netflix. And they started buying content just like Netflix. Like, yo, I get it innately. Aggregation is important. Everyone who's an aggregator, Google's an aggregator. They took a robot called a spider, scraped the web, hacker type beats, and then built a business off of hacker type beats. Best Buy was a hacker type beat. Best Buy, people were on AOL, people got credit cards from AOL, people bought things on Best Buy. That's why you currently have to use a zip code and your address be where it's supposed to be, because back then you didn't need that. So that's how, and they would mail it to empty homes. All you needed was an address. They would drop it off at the address, you drive over there and pick it up. What did you do with that package? You put it on a platform called eBay, and you sold it on eBay. How did you let people know it was on eBay? You made a Craigslist. All of those things are still around. And that's how the hackers worked. Oh, and by the way, that Craigslist link, you used Google to search Craigslist to find the things you were looking for. See? Everything is pirates. Oh, pirates, say they, rabbi, sold I to the merchant ships. Merchant ships. Pirates and merchant ships in the first few stanzas of Bob Marley's Redemption song. All I'm saying is, off the bat, he was telling you there was pirates in these waters. rewrites to your mind state when you move around as a kid or a military brat. You've learned to change everything about the things you don't like and strengthen the weakened stuff. Just because I'd seen things, I'd seen what happened after Desert Storm and how it affected my corporals and sergeants and officers. Mentally being over there, and they changed, man. What they saw changed them. The death they saw changed them. So when I came back, I was on AOL studying. And one of those times something hit me, and I was reading some stuff, and they were talking about visualization. They were talking about gymnasts and the fact that Russian gymnasts, and I put it in here, Olympians would use mental imagery and see the performance in their head, and they would go over it over and over and over again. So much so that it became all the muscle memory and movement, because they were envisioning it. They could actually get a very complicated routine or move. They could see it, and then their body followed their movement. And that's the thing that we need to start thinking about. Interesting perception. It's wrong. Is it wrong that's how I feel when I look at the effects of trauma in my family? Ooh, damn, Rayhan. I feel the exact same way, because I've seen people destroy themselves. The thing is that the destruction we do to ourselves is so grossly layered into our psyche. Like, we literally hate ourselves, and I don't think we get that. I was a kid, and being a kid in New York, especially around my Boricua sisters, well, me and FG got that same wolf. It was like being around, and you got the Dominicanas, and you got them Boricuas. But then, I'm a little peasy head brown boy. And, you got all those suave looking cats, you know what I'm saying? You got those golden brown brothers and shit. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, yo, what's up, ma? How you doing? You too black. And there's a self-hate immediately that hits you. You realize. And then if you go to the South, oh, it's innate. Like, I was in Virginia Beach, right? And then I was at, I went to Princess Anne High School, man. Shout out to Princess Anne, man. Love that place. Love Virginia. Virginia was the shit. Like, it was a vibe about Virginia. Like, it was like home. It called to me. Georgia does that now, too. The thing is that when we look at, like, I used to look in the mirror and I'd be like, I hated what I saw, because everything made me hate what I saw. And then when you go to school and everything is telling you a narrative that makes you less than, 3/5 of a human being, blah, 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 but you don't understand that they're talking maritime. They've taken 3/5 of what makes you a legitimate, legal, bodied entity that can own property. None of that, like, I mean, it's both sides, Rayhan. And that's the hate. Like, look, we have to understand that we're all part of the same temple. And the act of divide and conquer never left the way that we've been colonized. So for me, I love all of my brothers and sisters so long as they ride with us. Like, we all got to get, I'm not going to, like, look, this ain't no kumbaya moment, for real talk, because, y'all know me. I love 3 a.m. I love the information we get. I just need it to be practical, because at the end of the day, I got a wife. I want my children. I got to take care of them. Taxes, Caesar, Rome, gotcha. Don't know who Rome's going to be. Is it going to be Mongol Rome? Is it going to be Indo Rome, right? Because they got billions of people and they've got the leverage of workforce. So is it going to be a China Rome, or is it going to be a Indonesia, India Rome? another color shade of brown. There's a bunch of brown taking over a bunch of land masses. We all just got to figure out what assets and liabilities are again. Take fiat, earn, and make sure you put it into hard. What are your hardline assets? How much do your hardline assets appreciate and earn over time? Don't tie them all into corporations run by idiots who can barely hold their own pockets together. These people are in debt. They don't even know how to deal with anything but debt. They can't even manifest any physical, real business assets, which is insane to me. They've been flipping debt so long, y'all, they don't know any other hustle now. Oh, I'm going to take debt to debt. Oh, let's take debt to debt to debt to debt. Oh, let's take debt to debt to debt, flip the debt to debt to debt. Okay, where's your business? Oh, the future of that business is 20 times earning over here. It reminds me of something that I learned, and I love South Park, called Underpants Gnome Theory. We have theories in our crew, in the hustle crew, my boy Ty Durden and Johnny Streams. We always had like what we call our theories. And there's Underpants Kano and Gnome Theory, right? The Underpants Gnomes. Oh, it's Gnome, Shio, right? And it was an episode of these things called the Underpants Gnomes. And what they would do is they were stealing underpants. And their business model was first, they were great businessmen, right? So it's like, okay, they're going to teach the boys how they do big business, because it was like Starbucks. It was about Starbucks and how Starbucks is a corporation, and that corporation was eating up these little businesses. Now, this was years ago, talking about corporations eating up the family business structures, the Walmarts of the world. And they even have something in an episode called Something Evil Walmart, something Walmart Evil or Wicked Walmart Comes, or something like that. Something Walmart Wicked Comes, or Evil Wicked Walmart Comes. But anyway, Underpants Gnomes. Their business model was this. 1, they collect underpants. 2, question mark. 3, profit. And they're like, you get it? And then it hit me. Every single business, damn near on the planet, follows Underpants Gnome Theory. If you ask them how they get to profit, what actually is the catalyst that gives them their profit, they really can't give you but a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I can tell you my actual profit will come from royalties, subscriptions, physical, tangible assets that might be generated by holding cryptocurrency locked in wallets, but we can be able to trade some of those things at interest rates that will give us better percentage to then, if we mint it, it's basically profit. Right? If you figure it out, you just need to figure out how you can make a thing happen. So I was like, yo, I don't want to sell shirts. I don't want to have to sell shirts. Everybody just rather buy crypto than buy physical things. So what if the physical thing just came to you? What if I figured out a business model that I could print out these shirts and you would just buy a cryptocurrency and hold it in your wallet till you got it? Compren? Compren. Rehan, I stood in front of a subway platform after the death of my child and the loss of my girl that was going to have her, and a serious relationship I thought was going to marry. And I stood at the foot of a Long Island Railroad where there was an express line, and I thought about it. And then I thought about what I wouldn't do. And then I thought about who I couldn't stop from doing what I was about to do. And then I thought about how selfish I am to rip my mother's heart out. And then I made a decision that if I wanted to be with my daughter, that I'd have to live a better life. A life worth living. Her life, I would now live for her. Compre? Because she's now my light. She's what gives me enough energy to get up in the morning, to look at this world for the crap fest we're in, and say, not today. Not today, Satan. But for me, I am not going to let anything take me out before it's time. You come get me. I'm going to fight through all of that, and I'm going to prove not only to my ancestors, but to myself, I am a light worth shining. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine light like a diamond. Oh, boom, 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 boom. You know, visualize everything you need to do at this point. Get out of ye boxes, right? Lauren was trying to sing that on that album, that unplugged album. Get out your boxes. We have to hack our brains now. I already showed y'all a few hacks, but I need y'all to think about the hacks you can do. One hack, create multiple channels. Here are my channels. I have multiple channels that I have for my accounts. Every single one of my accounts has multiple channels listed under them. Each channel will do a specific different thing, right? So I'll have a channel for stocks. I'll have a channel for whatever. And if you need to know what those channels are, all you go is how to create multiple oh, there he is, under one account. Bow. It's right there. Bow. And these guys can show you 11 months ago, a year ago, how to create multiple YouTube channels under one account. And I have one account for crypto. I have, or actually business. Another gaming channel. I have a channel for 3 a.m. stuff. I have a channel for anime. I have a channel for gaming and watching the cutscenes. Right? And then what I do is, let's say I want to learn something like this. I'll go into it. And then over here, gear, playback speed, speed it up. 1.2. I got to 1.5. I typically go 1.7 if I'm in a car or if I'm just chilling. And if it's really, really long, and they talk really, really slow, I go 2x on their ass. Right? So this is how I can get through data I get through data real fast. And then it's always, tutorial. So let's say if I wanted to learn Wappler or Builder, right? Or BILDER tutorial. Is it Builder with an R? There it is. Builder, right? And then you see the tutorials, and some other people's got some tutorials. But again, this is still early in the game. So I would just go to the Builder the Builder channel.
Hey, everybody.
Right here. And go to Builder, sorry. Go to the Builder channel. Then if you look at the playlist, and then you go over to, you can see the big things that they give you off the bat. Like they got Web3 built in, right? You can learn Builder by creating a Google search engine clone, right? And you can build a Chrome extension in there. They have a way that you can get a Chrome extension. I'm actually looking at that for the future, for putting data in and not having to be on a website, but kind of being on the website. We'll explain later. And then they have NFT, how to build an NFT chat room, how to connect to MetaMask, and they now have their starter SaaS template, system as a service. So you can have other businesses earning money inside your business, kind of like, I guess, Builder itself, because that's what it does. Their own platform does that. You can build SaaS products in their platform. They're eating their own dog food, manufacturing with their own software, the software that they're building on. It's like Ouroboros, where the snake eats its own tail. So this is how you can be, how I'm beginning to hack some of my things, like how I hack, like getting information. And then it'd be like if I do WordPress, if I wanted to learn WordPress tutorials, or if there's a specific plugin that you're using, all right, or Visual Composer. Like if you learn WordPress and you want to do like crazy designs, there's Visual Composer, right, where you can build beautiful websites. The big dog in WordPress is Elementor. Is the big dog. Elementor is the big dog.
Hi all, welcome to Elementor.
Is the big dog in developing a WordPress kind of application. Right? So your algorithms, are you trading your Google algorithms? I train my Google algorithms. Like I'll say insider selling, right? And now my Google's looking at that. And if my news comes up, I might like and share my news on my profile. So now my AI knows I'm looking for certain things. And then when I go to news, now it can kind of say, hey, I can say, and then again, knowing, hey, I go to tools, I click recent, I'll just say, hey, give me the last 24 hours so I can see what's been going on. Insider trading under corporate securities law. And I'm looking for that. Oh, here we go. NASDAQ, 14% of this International Money Express International Money Express Inc., NASDAQ IMXI, insiders holdings were sold in the last year. Have Trust Financial, and NASDAQ's been just dropping dimes on everybody who's been selling off their stock. Because this is their automatic writer. You'll notice that kind of, they say the same things over and over. These guys might be glad that they got out early because the stock, like insiders probably made the right decision selling 2.8 worth of shares. If you watch me do this, you'll see that NASDAQ has a robot writing these articles based off data. It's called rewriting. Or rewriters. New. Hold on. New. Damn it. New. It's called spinning text. Oh, for those that you don't know, I was doing this before. So let's say I have a text. Let's say Mary had a had a little lamb. Okay? So now what we do is we put this in parenthesis and then we put a little line thing, and then I say Maggie, Tori, Lisa, right? Had a little, we're going to say tiny baby not pretty, right? Lamb. We're going to also wrap this out, and then I'm going to put dog, cat, jackass.